Let's get it. Let's get it. get it. Let's get it. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to day number 3 of the regional finals of the PUBG Mobile Club Open Spring Split 2021. The Bangladeshi region, of course, sponsored to you by Oppo Reno 5. My name is Fixes, and joined along with me is, of course, Necro. So yesterday we again got to see some amazing performances from the Bangladeshi teams, especially with the likes of Exentric Infinity and Blood Legion having such a massive lead for themselves, and CY, of course, being one of those players that has really put up quite a show for us.
Yeah.
But then again, we come along to Log1, who's been there with those position points. But yesterday we did see them, of course, taking a few kill points as well with Sibik, one of those players to really shine out. But today, as we are getting into day number 3, we will, of course, reach our halfway mark. So what do you expect? Do you think that any new team is going to take a rise, or is it going to be the same old teams getting more points for themselves?
I mean, to be honest, I really want INES to actually step their game up this time, because the way they've been playing is certainly not impressing not a lot of people, you know, to be honest. And even yesterday, like, we had so many expectations going in for Blood Legions. Yeah, they did manage to secure that one chicken dinner. But I mean, still, we were expecting like so much aggression coming in from Blood Legion, and we certainly didn't see that coming in.
I mean, considering about Blood Legion, we'll definitely get back into that conversation. But right now, let's take a look at what's on the line for these teams. The slots of the PUBG Mobile Pro League is what we are talking about, ladies and gentlemen. The 3 coveted slots from the Bangladesh region. Of course, they will be going along and facing the remaining qualified teams from the other regions aforementioned. And we also have Team Zeus from the GC and a few of the teams from the PMPL last time around. So, yeah, coming back, we did see, of course, Blood Legion could not get as many chickens as they could have, but they were still very consistent. I mean, Ryan being one of those players, and Leo, of course, being the backbone of the team, you know, staying alive till the end and managing to get those kill points and even those position points when it mattered.
Indeed, of course, yeah, this is the main thing that you actually need when you're actually trying to win a game. Yeah, of course, the support player and the support role comes into really massive play. But what exactly I had expecting from Blood Legion from themselves is that I was really expecting them to go them like start early aggression. This is what I really want to point out. Like, we have been seeing Blood Legion aggressing so many times in the early game phases, but this time yesterday we didn't really see that happening. Blood Legion was playing so passive.
I mean, I think I beg to differ on that, but let's take a look at the prize pool that we have online over here. What are these teams really fighting for? $29,200 is on the line, out of which the majority chunk is definitely going to get to the first 3 teams that we have, in fact, and that they will, of course, qualify for the PMPL Season 3. But moving on forward, a lot of teams have already, kind of frozen their prize money that we can talk about. They will, of course, get it pretty soon. But moving along, coming back to the Blood Legion boys, they did somehow manage to rack up quite a lot of kill points, if not the position points.
They did.
And let's take a look at the points distribution system and how do they do that. And this has been the comeback meta that we've been talking about. No matter, even if you are on the 13th or 14th position, one good chicken dinner can take you right up till the 4th or 5th position.
Of course, like, as long as you're getting those kill points for your team, is of course going to be favoring your team a lot much more, and especially if you get that one chicken dinner, even in any of those 4 maps, you are certainly going to be taking a massive leap in those leaderboards. And now, coming back to INES, yeah, they're not really able to show up Fixes, and we really want them to actually prove themselves, and we know that they do have the experience coming in here, and we really want INES to actually step their gameplay up this time.
Of course. I mean, we did see some signs of a resurrection from these guys in the last game of Erangel, where they almost, of course, made it to the top 3. But now let's take a look at, the teams that are, of course, going to be playing with us. That's INES, Blood Legion, ERZxTRZ, XCvS. So this is also one of the teams that we really need to talk about, because yesterday they were really trying, but somewhere down the line, considering how they played in the first day, I really expected them to perform even better on the second, but they certainly could not do so.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, on the first day they were so consistent overall, taking those positioning points and even those kill points. They were certainly farming it. And even we did see Infernal and Parasite step up yesterday. Like, we didn't really expect them to actually get one of those chicken dinners in the maps, and Infernal Parasite was certainly doing that. And now one more team that is actually stepping up, it's KSX. We are seeing them so many times in those top positions over there in those late game circles as well, and KSX is certainly trying. But one team that is really like the most disappointing over here is definitely going to be Wolves, because they're literally on the bottom of the leaderboard of the overall. And Wolves certainly, I mean, I know that they do have a lot of firepower going in, but also somewhere in those positioning, they're really getting contested easily by any of these squads, and they're just tackling them down easily. And especially having a man like Jigsaw on your side, your team shouldn't be struggling as much as they are right now, because especially we have seen Jigsaw putting in so much firepower, and he's just overall a really good assaulter.
I mean, we were quite overwhelmed with how Jigsaw was playing, but like you know, it's not a one-man game anymore. It's the entire team that needs to contribute, and whoever does so does get those points, and it is reflected, of course, on your overall rankings. And we'll take a look at that. So Blood Legion having that massive lead of 127 points. Of course, Exentric Infinity and Log1 along with XCVS, they're not far behind. They've got a chicken dinner each, and you know, one good game for either of these teams and you can get to see that shuffle. But from second position up until the 8th position, I feel the difference is not too much. It's just about that one chicken dinner, one good game, and you might make it to the top 3.
Indeed. Now, I really want INERTIA to actually get one of the chicken dinners with like at least a decent amount of kills, or at least like 8 to 9 kills, and they would actually be making it to top 2. But of course, at the same time, Exentric is not really going to be giving their spot away that easily. We do know what kind of a player C1 is, and especially when he puts his eyes in the chicken dinner, his team will probably get it. Now, overall, we even saw God's Reborn struggling a little bit yesterday, though. But I still feel like in one of those games, God's Reborn were actually Yashiro was one of the players who was actually alive in the Miramar map, and he was in the top 3 position or top 3 situation. But indeed, he went down to Leo from Blood Legions.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And we've been talking about ERZxTRZ a lot yesterday.
Yeah.
And we really thought that yesterday could have been the day where they really come out on top, but that certainly was not the case. But we did see other teams like AGT9, IPG4 ARC, in fact, playing quite consistent considering how the circles are really panned out.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, one thing that you really point out about IPG4 ARC over here, I mean, yeah, indeed, they are getting those circles, of course, to their side, but still, I don't really feel like they're making it that must, you know? They should be making it as good as possible for themselves. Now, of course, the circles are panning out for them. They're getting overall better position, but also at the same time, they're not really able to rack up those kills. And of course, in the end circles, we know it's an absolute far cry all over the place. So all these teams need to try their best and just try to contest those kill points. And even if you're not really confident about peeking out and taking those kills, you can just hide like Log1 is doing and actually just secure those placement points for yourself.
I mean, talking about Log1 and, you know, that priced with the fact that they always have the circle. Of course, we kind of jinxed it towards the end.
In the end,
today I really want to see if the same mantra works out for Log1, because we know this is a team that did start off initially in the group stages with a good performance. They kind of fizzled out, but somehow managed to qualify in for the regional finals. But once they came in, they've been consistent throughout. Every single time the zone forms, they're right in the center. And the first stage, they took their own sweet time. And after that, when they kind of really got comfortable, they're starting to go for the kills. Now, we've seen you know, all these matches across the 3 maps that we have. So let's take a look at the schedule. Of course, that's going to be Erangel, Sanhok, Miramar, and then ending things at Erangel again.
Indeed, the standard schedule that we are looking all the time. And one more map that is really interesting to see, of course, is going to be Sanhok. Overall, just how much mayhem it just causes in those late game circles. And even I feel like Erangel is more kind of fun factor, to be honest. Even more fun than actual Sanhok, to be honest. Because just overall, like, Erangel is a decent amount of map where it's like really balanced. You are going to be getting a lot of cover for yourself. At the same time, you are going to be also getting in those tricky situations where you might get caught in the open areas as well. But now, this is where team actually need to really strategize out in those positioning points as well. Now, Erangel is a map where it really, you know, thrives for those IGL to actually make those critical decisions for their team. And if the decision is going to be wrong, the zone certainly is going to be pushing them, and even the map is going to be just punishing them for the wrong positioning inside the circle.
I mean, few very interesting points made by Necro, of course, with Erangel 2.0, you know, kind of being really giving all those new covers and those areas to play around. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's just head into game number 1 of today's evening and see how or which team comes out as the victor, as the flight path trajectory heads all the way from hospital towards Novorupnoi.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, one thing I would really like to see is like which team is going to be contesting even the school area and overall military and even Nova. Of course, we know all these areas have just a juicy amount of loot, and even Pachinki, how can I forget that? But seems like IPG4 ARC is going to be the first team actually to step outside of the plan, and seems like they're going to be taking the Georgiapol area for themselves.
Teams are doing whatever it takes, to ensure that they have the good loot running for themselves. But look at KSX and XCVS. They just might be beside each other, maybe in contention for that vehicle, and we might get to see that early game fight happening. But at the same time, Steam Wolves have taken a drop towards the military base, so that's going to be really tricky as to how they're going to get in, considering A1952 is just holding off at Ferry Pier area.
Indeed, yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what kind of strats they're going to be rolling out of their sleeves, because if they're going to be trying to take that bridge area, they are definitely going to get camped by A1 1952, because they're right outside there and waiting for them to actually step out anytime soon. And it does certainly seem like A1 is actually racking up a really decent amount of loot when it comes to those gunpowder coming in from them. It's going to be AK and M16 for Tufik. And yeah, overall, I really feel like A1 1952 this time should actually step their gameplay up regarding how they've been playing in the previous games as well. But this time, certainly, I do have a little bit of hopes going in for ERZxTRZ as well. I mean, we do know in group stages, yeah, they have been playing really good overall. But, even if it's not going to be doing enough, though. But one unfortunate casualty coming in for Max over here. It seems like they're just going to be playing with only 3 members.
Well, their wars continue, and it's Ironclad, one of the best players, really missing out. The player that they really needed today, so he's not anymore with us in this lobby at least. And the A1 952, they still have a good, decent chance, and they did show some amazing performances yesterday. But Umar taking a few tap shots with his SKS. Let's see how is he going to come out on this one. Really kind of missing out on all those shots, but it's just to kind of make his presence felt over there. He's like, guys, do not even think of coming here, because we are going to punish you if you do. So Exentric, they did not really bother. They were like, we are watching our own ways, so they just left off.
Indeed, yeah, they certainly did not want to fight in those early game phases, because the way they were actually running, it actually tells me that they did not have that good of a loot, so which does make sense to actually not fight and just back off in those situations. But overall, one thing I really want to see is that Blood Legion just absolutely raging in the end and causing an absolute storm in the end circle. And I really want to see them absolutely go that path and just absolutely dominate everyone in their way. And of course, yeah, these are the hopes that I have for Blood Legions. But one team that isn't really stepping up is, of course, going to be ERZxTRZ. And I really want them to step up, because the position they are in right now is certainly not really going to be doing them much, especially taking a look, we are already halfway there. I feel like ERZxTRZ, this is the time where they need to actually step their gameplay up and try something new, because even INES over here, right, they do have secured themselves that, top 8 position, but they certainly need to get those top 3 to actually, make a slot for themselves in the PMPL. And it's going to be interesting to see how these guys are going to be playing out today, because to be honest, today is one of the main days where you need to actually figure yourself out and actually put those strategies on board.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Now, INES, this is a team. So they've got those players like Gayor of
Get inside the city or the main. Interesting to see how the. It certainly is going to be so disappointing world. It's going to be interesting to see how to actually struggle anymore. I want them A1 because I mean it certainly is going to be so disappointing if they do get eliminated early on. You're going to get that momentum going in the first game. In the rest of the game, you're of course going to be having so much more confidence and just overall a better, better mentality going in.
Yeah, absolutely. But right now, if you take a look at ERZxTRZ, this is the day where they need to start performing, because if they do not, then it's too late. Because today is the third day. Today we will almost be reaching our halfway mark. And after that, the matches will be in reverse countdown mode. So you do not have enough to play around. So if you start building up, at least, try to get till the top 8 today. And then you still have 2 more days to try to contest for the top 3 spots. But provided you have to be very consistent every single game.
Indeed, yeah, but one man we right now we're spectating is Demon. And how can you forget some iconic moments coming in from this man? Once he was just barraging down squads with his nades, with just unlimited amount of nades, just unloading those nades on the enemy. And then once he was just waiting for the best moment to strike outside of his buggy, and even the other teammates just missing him completely. And that was just an absolute unfortunate moment coming in for them. As soon as they started sticking the res, Demon just hopped out of the wiggle. They were like, what? Where did he come from?
I mean, that was the moment in Miramar yesterday, that Demon really shined. And, these teams have those, survival instincts instilled within them. But kind of a rather slow start to Erangel with not a lot of, kills popping out. But I was really shocked as to why these players just dropped out of their vehicles. Was that a panic drop, or was it sort of intended?
I mean, we can't really tell at this point, but it seems like they are just going to be unloading mags onto the vehicles that are trying to rotate into the circle. And just take a look at what happened over here. Accidentally stepping out of the vehicle in that open ground, and certainly Deadgut is going to be going down. Unfortunate turn of events for him, and INES with the first blood. Beautiful plays coming in from this squad. Definitely unfortunate positioning coming out from the squad that was trying to rotate, but did get caught off guard in the open field. And this is what I'm talking about. When you're trying to rotate from the open fields, you will need to be so careful, and even try to favor, you will have to have that luck on your side as well. If you're not going to be having that luck on your side, you're of course going to get contested by a lot of squads, just like right now what INES did to them.
Talking about INES, so they did take those shots, but they pretty much missed it all. So at this level, you would want to try to connect get a few knocks here and there and get the job done. So Dadlov already taking an exit early on, so not what IPG4 really intended for them. But as we move along, the circle is slowly panning down towards the northern areas of Erangel. You've got that hilly slopes to play around. You've got that dips as well. So this comes down to how well versed you are with the latest map changes of Erangel 2.0. But as we speak of, we have two of our teams fighting against each other. That's ALxK9 and AGT9, as that beautiful nade goes from Taban and knocks down Merciless right on his knees.
Indeed, beautiful nade coming in from Taban there, but taking a look at the fight that is occurring in front of us now, it's all down to Captain to actually get the res onto his teammate, but also at the same time, the nades are just unloading from AGT9 over here. Of course, the backup is going to be coming from AGT9 as well, and Insane going to be finishing the kill that was taken down completely. And now Insane certainly going to be trying to hold that ridge in front of him and hold that little wall in front of him just to provide the extra cover, but do they know the Captain is right next to them in the compound or in the house right next to him?
We certainly have to see, but I really like Tesla's position over there. But the sad part is he's been spotted. Now he needs to have maybe a high ground advantage for him, and how is he going to retreat considering all the players have the crosshairs locked at him? He's taken some damage with his UAS as well. That's not in a pretty solid shape right now. But ALxK9 still somehow trying to traverse around, and Tesla, like I said, he wanted to get that high ground advantage, and he's been spotted taking a lot of damage on his vehicle. But AGT9,
take a look at that.
Yeah, AGT9, they're still scouring out for their options, right? Insane, really close to its captain, and any single moment, all these four players might just isolate him, which they've already done, and try to finish him off, as captain is inside that washroom and gets finished off. Quick kills coming out there for team AGT9.
Indeed, yeah, of course, just the way overall the challenge, the fight was just an absolute beauty. So many nades going in, and both of the knocks were actually done with nades. So yeah, I'm going to say beautiful utility usage coming in from AGT9 there. But now it seems like the spot that is going to be right in front of them seems like Dominic Bot has been spotted out in the open. And Dominic certainly needs to step inside to cover, because if he's going to be in the open like that, he's certainly going to be in a massive trouble. But now it seems like Blood Legion is one of the squad that AGT9 has to look out for, because certainly AGT9 is not really having the day of their lives, and if they do manage to get eliminated early off from Blood Legions, that would be an absolute shame.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely would be, considering this team has been performing so well lately, especially yesterday with the way they, just put their hearts out. But that's where the curveball kicks in. And of course, a lot of squads are inside the circle. But look at the central area. It's way too much in the open. It's played grass over there. Not a lot of covers, just a few haystacks and hell bales to play around. So we've got to see as to how these teams approach this one, because the teams at the edges do have those few covers of those compounds, a few hilly areas to rely on, but rest of it, it's pretty much in the open.
Indeed, yeah, this is what I was exactly talking about, like Erangel offering that cover as well sometimes, but if the circle shift is out in the open, that's definitely going to be a massive surprise point coming in for all these teams. But now, it's definitely going to be more kind of like the zone favoring situation over here in the end. Now, whichever team actually favors the zone, that is going to be having the highest chance of taking the chicken dinner in the hand, but seems like ERZxTRZ are getting off guard in the early rotations over here, and Rare out in the open, certainly going to get knocked out from one of the members from INES there. An unfortunate situation coming in for him as well, but seems like Gyro going to be completely finishing out Rare and stealing the kill.
Yeah, of course, but A1 Esports 952 in a whole world of trouble, as they've got a lot of their players falling down one after the other. C Minor, of course, falling from the vehicle, but Gyro from the backlines, like you said, he is dishing so much lead into the hearts of his enemies, not sparing anyone. Now, Magneto, there's really a slim chance of survival for this player, but Blood Legion, this is what I was talking about. You need to have that map control for you. You need to have that zone control for you. You need to watch out your back. You need to watch all possible 4 directions, and they are doing a pretty good job at that.
Indeed, they are doing a pretty good job, but as we're taking a look at the Blood Legion, just unloading so many mags onto their enemies from those backlines, and certainly they do have that high ground advantage going up for them, so of course, yeah, they're going to be dealing so much damage in the process. But now, this is an absolute far cry in these open fields. Just take a look at this. There are not that many cover going in for these lads, and certainly those vehicles are not going to be standing for a long time, because as long as they're going to be taking bullets all the time, they're certainly going to be falling weaker and weaker. But certainly seems like INES is going to be losing on one of their teammates. He has been knocked out. But it's going to be interesting to see how are they going to be rezzing him in the open ground. It's going to be interesting to see.
I mean, Gajar with that beautiful headshot on towards the players of Blood Legion. I mean, that was amazing, considering the fact that they were right out in the open. But right now, what we do witness here is Team Max taking a fight against an ERZxTRZ that's pretty much very wounded over here. They are all restricted to one single compound, so it's going to be really troublesome for them to approach. If Umar takes that other compound on his right, then I think it's going to be a rather easier job to just flush them out with the grenades. You know, get 1 or 2 knocks going in your favor and do whatever you can. But it's White Cat who rather gets a knock onto its king. Now trouble is in paradise for the players of Max because this is a 3-man squad.
Indeed, it's a 3-man squad, but also the situations are equal in both of the sides. Yeah. Even both of the teammates do have only 3 players going in for them. It's going to be Max with 3 members, and even ERZxTRZ with 3 members. Of course, losing out on one of the members in those early phases is going to be really traumatizing for them. But now it's going to be interesting to see how ERZxTRZ are going to be capitalizing on the enemy's position over there, because we did see them unloading so many nades onto Max over there, and in the process also King was down, but certainly also taking a heavy amount of damage in the process as well. But King's certainly going to be backing off into the cover and finally going to be healing himself. It seems like Casper is also scared for his life. He doesn't really want to peek anymore. He is just playing as safe as he can. But just take a look at that nade. Is that nade going to be doing much to Casper? Yeah, of course it is. It does seems like it dealt him 50 damage.
It certainly did. Now, if you take a look at the boys from Team Max, you know, they've managed to heal themselves up. They've managed to spot out the players of ERZxTRZ, but I'm really, astonished as to the fact as to why Umar is not making that rotation in, and Mamba getting yet another knock onto its Casper. This is the call. The push has finally come through, and that was a beautiful smoke path built by the players, and it's all down on King as to how is he going to defend it. But right now, Umar providing that suppressing fire, trying to deny, the entry up top, and this is where King needs to make a decision, either go in for the revive or take the fight. But he is right now heading into cover. This is where the panic situation really sets in for Team Max.
Indeed, of course, it's going to be interesting to see how Team Max is going to be tackling this entire situation down. Umar is definitely in those backlines, but not really going to be able to spot anyone. And in the process, King has been completely eliminated, and same goes with Casper as well. And as time goes down, Umar is just going to be backing off from that compound, running away for his life, and certainly seems like it's going to get capitalized in that open ground. And is going to get completely eliminated. Now, what Umar should have done over here, he should have actually jumped outside his building and just flanked them from the back. That would have been the really best possible situation. He would have tried to help his teammates out. But certainly staying in the back lines, you're of course not going to be getting that much of amount of view coming in inside the buildings. But of course, with that squad elimination coming in, that was the first squad elimination, which was Max going down. But now it seems like there is another fight occurring in front of us, and Demon certainly seems like he's in a massive world of trouble, as Wolves are taking so much damage down to Demon as well. But Demon seems like he's just going to be backing off.
Yeah, he certainly is looking like he wants to back off, but XCvS, they did have a chance to get that knock over there, but it's alright. And finally, the fight has begun. Exentric Infinity in a whole world of trouble, as we see 2 of their players already being knocked out. Thunder's position compromised as he's running for his life. He's just hiding in hindsight over there. But there you go, that beautiful, beautiful Kobe coming out. And with that being said, AGT9, 4 kills already for this squad.
Indeed, beautiful plays coming from this squad. We have been seeing AGT9 step up so much this time. And Exentric Infinity, one of the big teams, getting eliminated early off on 14th position. Unfortunate. That's all I can say. But Wolves seems like they are under heavy nade barrage over here. It seems like it's going to be Fahim just going to be barraging those nades onto Jigsaw. But Jigsaw's taking so much damage as well. But it doesn't really seem like the last nade's not going to be connecting onto Jigsaw. So Fahim just going to be proning in the grass, waiting for Wolves to actually make any kind of mistaken step in front of him.
Well, right now, we've got 3 teams in the near fray. Dictator getting a beautiful knock onto his caffeine from SLX Ironic, trying to flatten out the ties, and he's done a pretty good job at that. But, okay, so Sketch has been spotted. He goes down as well. Some precise shots are coming out from Dictator over here as he's dictating that entire fight, going right in front of him. Now, SLX Ironic, they're caught in a pickle over here. They've been, pinned down. Now, maybe IPGX might just be one of those teams that would want to capitalize, but no, they want to go towards their own separate ways, try to get inside the circle pretty early on. But we can see the players of Log 1 taking a dig at the boys from Blood Legion.
And certainly it seems like A1 Esports finally getting eliminated early off. We did see them struggling in the early phases and actually trying to survive, but just take a look at how much damage Dictator's taken in the process as well from ALxIR. And certainly Dictator's going to be falling back and going to be healing himself. And now as we take a look at IPG4 Stranger as well, trying to aim down sights on these teammates, but it doesn't really seem like he's going to be finding any of those shots getting connected over there. And IPG4 certainly seems like they do have a better situation going in, but seems like, take a look at this fight over here that is happening. Demon absolutely popping off and showing that he's the actual Demon, eliminating the complete Wolf squad.
Yeah, he certainly did that, but right now XCVS, they finally feel themselves. But Blood Legion having 3 kills, they're already down to their 2 men right now. It's all upon Dominic and Leo to survive and get those crucial points for them. Of course, they're enjoying that sweet spot up top, but Blood Legion, they're not really giving up. They, going after kills any single moment to spot a player. But at the same time, they can be surrounded, as the circle, as you can see, is in that open area. You've just got those haystacks that you can get for your cover, but that's just about it. You need to have those small little shacks, and whoever has a good control over that, they can do really well on that occasion. But INES, this has been a team, staying in the open fields for quite some time. They feel themselves that they're settled in over here. Gayor, one of those players who's pretty prolific with the way he's been using the port action today.
Indeed, yeah, we have been seeing him just absolutely connecting those domes off the exact existence. But now take a look at AGT9 over here. They do look in a really bad situation, and same goes to Logwin as well. Out in the open, the smokes are certainly not going to be providing you a lot much more cover because they are just temporary over there. They're not going to be providing you cover as long as you wish they would. But now taking a look at the kill feed over here, Jerry seems like he's finally going to be popping off, and Dominic going to be following it up onto IPGX as well. But now this situation that exactly is going on in front of us is more interesting because it certainly seems like AGT9 are in a whole world of trouble. Now the res needs to come in as well as we take a look at the seamless aggression coming in from Logwin as well. Now they do realize that AGT9 Insane is in a really bad and tough spot over there, and AGT9 certainly going to be spotting that 24K and going to be taking him down. But now Sabik is just right in front of him, prone, and seems like he's going to be spotting him as well. Insane is just absolutely insane with those spotting skills. He has some eagle eye.
He certainly does right now, as Insane getting those beautiful frags for himself. And Log 1, they are getting reduced down on their numbers, as Rolex is, of course, the last player to survive. SLX Ironic also taking an early exit over here on the 10th spot. They're not going to get a lot of points, just 3 from this particular map. But now INES, this is a team that I am really eyeing out for because they're kind of carrying forward the momentum that they had built since yesterday. And look at the cover fire on these lads, Newt doing whatever he could do just to keep the other teams in bay, and has spotted out Insane, and of course Stranger taking a few shots here and there. Of course the visual glitch coming, but now he does not have the option to take his buggy. It's all flat out. He cannot take the Dasha either.
Yeah, the Dash is certainly smoking outside the zone, but now taking a look at INES, Jor over here seems like he is in a massive world of trouble as well, as Stranger's going to be closing things out for Logwin. Now, unfortunate turn of events for them as well coming in, and now taking a look at Newty, seems like he's just going to be making a rotation to his teammate, which is going to be clutch, and out in the open of, like, hopefully he doesn't get caught off guard, and certainly seems like, yep, he's going to be safe in the process of the rotation coming in. INES certainly does seem like they are one of the squad that is an absolute ninja and an absolute silent assassin, as we would like to call them. They are completely safe over here. But now take a look at XCVS. Of course, the nades are coming in through onto them. They are absolutely getting barraged over from SLXGR. And seems like the aggression is going to be coming in through as well. But Gentleman getting caught off guard. And now one is all down to him. Is he going to be able to survive for a long time? No. Y4 just going to be hiding behind that little car that he has for cover. But how long is it? Car going to be providing the cover for him as we take a look at this. Blood Legion Leo seems like it's going to be popping out this time as well.
Yeah, he's still alive, he's still kicking, and somehow Blood Legion managed to stay up into those file circles. And that does not matter how many players remain, they still somehow get the job done in terms of kills, in terms of frags. But Miramar spraying down onto its Mamba, who somehow has finally managed to step off from his vehicle safely and soundly. But is his trouble gone over there, because he's right beside the players of Blood Legion, Dominic and Leo, two of these players still alive. But INES, this is one of the teams that has a really good chance. But look at Mamba going ham after Dominic as he gets that beautiful knock. So Leo needs to pop in those smokes to get that revive on. And also the circle has started to shift. You know, this is the 7th circle that we are going to be talking about, because the 6th circle has finally ended over there. And it has kind of shifted towards the players of God's Reborn. So you've got Koa and you've got Yashiro to play around. But the boys from INES, oh my goodness, Clutch taking that heavy damage from the nade, but somehow still surviving.
Indeed, but Dominic Bot is still not going to be surviving for that nade, and Mamba has certainly proven that he does have one of the best nade skills coming inside the game. But one of the teams that I really want to point out surviving this till this late is going to be KSX. As I was talking about, this team is now certainly been showing themselves up, and they do have cracked the codes to actually know how to survive in those late game situations as well, just like Log1 has. But now, taking a look at the overall situation that is going on, analyzing the entire situation that is going on, because you're taking massive amount of damage. He's only going to be doing 75 damage though, but another nade should be closing things out for Gajor as well. But certainly seems like Gajor, yup, he's going to get spotted in the open ground, and Leo is going to be taking down Gajor. And of course, Leo is not going to let his kill get his steal, and seems like he is going to be taking another one down with him as well. Leo is an absolute beast.
Yeah, he certainly is one of them, but right now, Newt has fallen down on his knees. Clutch needs to get that revive. In this kind of situation, it's going to be really difficult, as God's Reborn, they are eyeing on the chicken dinner, and they've got the best chance to do so. KSX, they've survived for so long, and this is what they needed, a few consistent performances. Yesterday also in Erangel, we did see them popping off, and today they are continuing their run, they're continuing the momentum. But considering the fact that the players of INES are sort of pinned down, it's going to be a really tough entry. But there you go, Newt coming out on top, getting that beautiful knock over there, and this is going to give them enough room to try and enter. But Ehsan is the one who will be stealing the kill.
Oh no, you know, we all hate those steal kills coming in as well, but now taking a look at the God Reborn position, seems like they do have one of the best covers going in as well. But Mera certainly is going to be using that care package for his cover as well, but Ehsan going to be in a heavy cover of fire, and Yashiro finally going to be securing that knock for himself. And the nades are going to be coming in through as we take a look at Clutch. He's barraging those nades through, but there's no one over there. Clutch trying to figure out where God Reborn is, but certainly not really able to figure it out, trying to spot anyone as he can with that eagle eye coming in from his side. But doesn't really seem like that's going to be happening, and Ehsan going down. Beautiful nade over there from the God's Reborn side, but now it's all down to Meraz when it comes to KSX. Now, is he going to be able to do much? That's going to be interesting to see. The finish is going to be coming in as well. Yashiro certainly proving his grounds now.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, Miraz, of course, did try to give away the position of the players over there of God's Reborn. But this gave enough room and time for the players of INES to do whatever on earth they want to, you know, trying to form that crossfire angle. But Clutch, he's gotten those 4 kills. He needs to clutch it out. INES desperately need a chicken to, you know, have a good chance. So Miraz, of course, the last surviving member of KSX, as we have a kind of a Mexican standoff building off, but not really in KSX's favor, since it's a 2v1 situation, as INES is slowly but surely closing in on the circle. But there you go, Kowa spotting out Newt, the pixel being visible, him getting taken down. Now it's all upon Clutch to actually make some clutch plays happen in this situation. Indeed,
Newt is still alive. He might be doing the crucial part for INES as well there. He might be scouting out the information for his team. It seems like Yashiro is under heavy fire, and Meraz is certainly going to be capitalizing on Yashiro's position, but Meraz almost getting caught off guard by the zone there, and now seems like the things are even for each and every single team. It's a one-on-one situation. Which team is going to be coming out on top? It's going to be interesting to see. Now, Yashiro is knocked out there. Meraz certainly down in really less HP. Clutch trying to spot anyone down. He did hear those shots go off there, but Meraz barely making it inside the circle. Also going to be finishing the kill, but seems like it's going to be Koa to finish things out, and Clutch is going to be spotting Koa, but Koa is going to be the one to actually come out on top, and INES has been eliminated, and the chicken dinner is certainly going to be taken.
Wow, I mean, God's Reborn, some genius plays coming out from these lands, and will of course secure that chicken dinner. And topple over to the second spot. And this is a team this is what we're talking about. One good game, and you're in the top 3. The race is still on for those slots. But of course, Blood Legion, back-to-back consistent performances. I'm not talking about, you getting chicken dinner every single game, but considering the fact that we're consistent again with a few decent amount of kills, surviving till the end, despite whatever the circumstances were, that's a pretty good outing from them. They are running up on top. No one's touching them anytime soon. But let's get back to INES. Let's get back to ALxK, and let's talk about the winners over here. That's God's Reborn. What a beautiful play coming out from the latch. I mean, there was one time, one of the players got knocked out, and he sort of baited it. Meras just went right on his face. He went in for the finish, and that's where Koa kind of went in for the finish. But ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the MVP and see which is that one player gonna shine, and that's Insane from ALxK9.
Of course, we did see ALxK9 just step up and show their true colors in those late game phases as well, but now Insane absolutely proving that he's an absolute insane player for ALxK9, coming up with 6 kills and 1,076 damage. That's some massive numbers coming in.
Yeah, that's a massive numbers coming in, and well, ALxK9, this is a squad that did wipe out the existence of Exentric Infinity.
Yeah.
One of those teams that we were eyeing out for, one of those teams that had kind of maintained that second spot for themselves, and that was a quick early elimination, so they're gonna lose out on quite a few points, Exentric. And XCvS, they also, put their hearts in. But at the same time, signs of resurrection, of course, coming in from the boys from ERZxTRZ, considering Mamba tried to survive till the very end, and did also take down a few players of Blood Legion. In fact, he took down Dominic. But now, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at who the top players were in the lobby.
Indeed, of course, Insane is going to be on the #1 position there, and Koa going to be following it up with 7 kills and only 678 damage. And then it's going to be Clutch following it up as well. It's going to be with 4 kills and 575 damage. And then Mamba, of course, how can we forget this man from ERZxTRZ coming up as well this time, 627 points. Now, one thing I really want to see is those overall leaderboards, overall standing, because I really want to see how ERZxTRZ has done in that previous game.
Yeah, I mean, ERZxTRZ is a team that was kind of in the brink of the overall points table, but now I think this game might just help them bolster up the position a bit. So at least I'm expecting somewhere around the 8 to 10 position for them. And now let's take a look at the match summary and see how the numbers game worked out.
Of course, I mean, take a look at Caffeine over there with 307 longest distance kills. Of course, that is kind of interesting, but now it seems like Insane with 1,076 damage going in as well. And Demon, we did see this man was just driving across all over the place with that buggy that he had of his. And then, of course, that's going to be longest distance travel going in for him as well. And Dominic Bout, of course, with those maximum 3 assists. And how can we forget Koa with those 7 kills?
And he was the one who clutched it out for this team in the end. I really felt, Clutch from INES could have had that. Because the moment, Koa was going after Meras, that was his opening, right? He went in. But that's the point where AK comes into play. AK is not really a weapon that you would want to, fire on your, want to hip fire with at such a range. You might have had kind of opened up the ADS, but that is something that he did not do, and had to pay the price. But now, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the match rankings as to how much this match has impacted. And there you go, God's Reborn with 28 points right on top, followed by KSX with those 8 kills. And, well, INES, again, a pretty good game from them. Consistent top 3 positions back-to-back. That's promising. But Blood Legion, again, 15 points. They are kind of continuing increasing their lead every single time they come into play.
Certainly, we would have to give it to God Reborns, though. Of 13 kills and with those massive 28 points coming in as well, I'm pretty sure they have taken a massive leap on the leaderboard as well in the overall ranking. But now ERZxTRZ only able to secure those 11 points. I mean, it's better than nothing, certainly taking a look at how they've been playing in the past few days.
Yeah, I mean, this is really good. This is good for a starter. I would not really expect you to just come in, go bombarding with a 20-plus chicken or anything. This is a good start. As long as you are consistent, I have nothing to complain about. But long one, XCvS are not really having the time of their lives, and the woes of Infernal Parasite GX really continues. Yesterday was just that one game where they really got in the chicken dinner, but remainder of the times they've been kind of silent. And talking about big disappointments over here, of course, Exentric Infinity being one of them, and joining them along is also the players of IPG4ARC and of course A1 1952. Right from the very start, while we did see the third or the fourth circle just popping off, that's where they were kind of lost in the rotation. They were just caught off guard to the players of INES, and also the players of Blood Legion were chiming inside the fight. But ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the open moments of this match and see how this beautiful game of Erangel fared out.
Yeah, this is the first blood coming in from the entire game, and we did see so much like overall safe plays coming from the entire Bangladeshi region this time, because we did see even in those late phases there were all 16 teams alive. And that's, of course, impressive overall if we take a look. But this also one of these squad wipes coming in from Max, and one of the really, questionable decisions coming in from Umar as well, from Max as well. But now, overall, taking a look at this spam over here, oh my God, this was an absolute beauty of a shot coming in from him. But yeah, overall, just I really feel like Blood Legion are still consistent in those top 4 position over here this time. But I really want to see them again just absolutely dominate the entire lobby and just absolutely aggress and drill through anyone that is standing in their way.
You know what I really want to see? I want to see someone giving a Blood Legion a competition, like a head-on fight, 4v4, taking them down. Because otherwise, it's just going to be that one team that's dominating throughout the tournament, right? We did see ERZxTRZ being one of their competitors, but they're suddenly lacking off. And in the first day, I really felt that maybe the boys from INES can do it. In terms of frag potential, yes, but INES has been certainly off in terms of the positioning during the fights, how they engage, and when they engage. They need to know all these basic fundamentals before they're going in. This chicken dinner could have been theirs. But let's take a look at the damage graph and see how much damage has been dished out in the server. And look at that, some huge numbers coming in for all these teams.
And certainly it seems like God's Reborn is going to be taking the most damage priority in their hands. But one thing I really want to point out over here that you were talking about in those certainly late game situations and overall just the situations that were happening. Yeah, of course, it's an absolute mayhem in those situations, and it's really hard for each and every single team to actually think about it. Yeah, INES did make that mistake in those late game, and I really feel like, yeah, he did get a little bit impatient over there. But one thing I really want to point out there was, yeah, getting impatient is really understandable, but I still feel like he should have actually waited out and prone inside the grass and then actually try to play it as slow as he can, because he still had a little bit of time going in for himself. Of course, yeah, the zone was shrinking in, the zone was actually forcing both of them inside, but I still feel like INES could have actually won that. But yeah, of course, it's actually understandable when the overall pressure's building in, when your teammates are giving you so many call-outs in your ears, and it's just really hard for you to know, oh, am I supposed to just wait, or am I supposed to just absolutely aggress and through? And I feel like this is where INES just lacked out, and this is where he actually made some critical mistakes in that pressure.
I mean, to be honest, in that situation, Necro, a clutch kind of messed it up, to be true. Because, again, coming back to the discussion, that AK spray was not called for. You could have just peeked in, just taken that cover. You've got that cover for that vehicle. You could have done a lot of things, but yeah, it was a panic striking in. And of course, talking about teammates mumming in your ears, you just need to ask them to shut up, because at that time you need to have your entire focus to the game. Every single sound cue is important, but it is what it is. But right now, you need to go, and we also need to check the overall leaderboards over here as to Blood Legion having that dominated performance. 142 points, 77 kills. They are looking so neat. But this is where INERTIA Esports, despite the fact that they do not have a chicken dinner and they've been consistent over the past couple of games, have managed to take that top 3 spot.
Indeed, let's just take a look at where Exentric Esports fell apart. Directly onto that 7th position from the second, and God's Reborn just stealing it out from their hands.
Yeah, I mean, this is really interesting now, because so many teams have just fallen down. Look at Exentric Infinity. They were on the 2nd spot, just one bad game, come down all the way to the 7th spot. And this is where the competition is really increasing. But by the end of today's games, I'm pretty sure that we're going to see, those differentiation, those segregation between those first team, then the second and the third team. So it's going to be a really difficult or a rather daunting task for all these teams to come back tomorrow. So today is a day where you need to make your mark in. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, we will be heading into Sanhok. But right now, we will be heading for a short little break. We'll be right back. You don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching the PUBG Mobile Club Open Spring Split 2021, day number 3 of the regional finals, of course, sponsored to you by Oppo Reno 5. As we did see the players of God's Reborn completely popping off. But yeah, nothing taken away from other boys from AGT9, you know, having the highest damage numbers. They were getting those kills for themselves. We saw some amazing grenades. But do you think, now that we are going into Sanhok, can AGT9 pull off a chicken in this one?
I mean, certainly it's really hard to guess because we know the Sanhok is just overall such a randomness when we are taking a look at Sanhok. Because anything can happen. Of course, yeah, the zone favoring is also one of the much more important factors when it comes to Sanhok overall. For example, even if it's Miramar and even if the zone is not favoring you, you can actually take any of the routes you want for the rotations coming in as long as you're not getting contested from any other squad as well. But now, talking about Miramar as well, there are just so many open areas coming in. This is not exactly with the Sanhok. Now, you are certainly not going to be using those cars and vehicles inside Sanhok because the map is just so small. It doesn't really make sense to actually use any of the cars or vehicles inside Sanhok. It will actually just give your position away. So I really feel like the best way to overall reposition yourself and get inside the circle is definitely going to be the footways.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you need to use your legs to really traverse around the map. And with that being said, the game is, of course, live, where we do see the flight path trajectory all the way from Docks to its Camp Alpha. And I'm really paying attention to where the circle will be, because that is kind of the game changer always, you know. That's so important, Sanhok. It gets so difficult to control all these scenarios, considering a certain team might just be holding the center. They might not let anyone enter, So, yeah, as it rhymes. And, well, ERZTRZ, let's talk about them now again. So, they're heading on towards the bootcamp area, and A1952 right beside them. But the circle, again,
Deja vu.
yeah, kind of tending to go around Paradise Resort. It's going to be very, very interesting because we haven't really seen a hardcore Paradise Circle up until now.
Indeed, of course, and it seems like ERZTRZ are going to be contesting that big boy loot area. It's going to be the bootcamp area, and certainly seems like XP Blood Legion showing their aggression early off and going to contest that Paradise Resort. But just take a look at the situation that is occurring right in front of us. It's going to be between Exentric and Max King. Which one is going to be coming out on top? Certainly, Exentric are showing up better in their stats number as well, but Max certainly are struggling. So King does not afford to actually lose this fighting, no matter what situation they are. And overall, it seems like King is just going to get capitalized from the other direction, and Thunder is just going to be taking him down, and the finish is also going to be coming in. An unfortunate turn of events for Max over there. First blood coming in from Thunder as well. But is Max going to be looking for revenge, though? This is going to be interesting to see.
I mean, Max has been pretty shaky, to be honest.
More than shaky, to be honest.
Yeah, they have been right in the depths of hell, and they are not having a good time over there. Not really having any good outing, not really showing a lot of promises, and kind of that one day that we had, seen them getting those outrageous number of kills. That was it. That was it. After that, they were completely off. They, I mean, I've had so much expectations built up from these lads because the way Ironclad played. So now, moving on forward, I mean, INES, we can really consider them to be one of the more consistent teams now, considering how they have positioned in the leaderboards, top 3 position, even without a chicken dinner. So that's not an easy task to do. So they finally have that gun fragging potential. All they need to work is on that positional plays that they sort of tend to mess up with, right? And once they kind of figure that out, I think this might be the team, or maybe Exentric Infinity might be the team that can contest the players of Blood Legion.
Indeed, yeah, Exentric might be the team, but certainly last game not really being the game for them, as we all expected them to actually just dominate even the end game as well, but certainly that was not happening anytime soon. But taking a look at the situation that is occurring in front of us, seems like KSX are definitely going to be having the man advantage in those fight situations. It seems like IPG is just going to be backing off there, and it seems like he's just going to be making a run for his life. And certainly I do respect that mature decision coming in from him as well, certainly realizing that he is getting outstand by those enemy numbers, so he's just going to be backing off as well, as we take a look at Sanhok also doing the same. And it seems like, yeah, now is the part where all these teams actually try to go in the middle of the circle, or even just overall try to contest a better and just overall a really strong position inside the circle as well. Because if you're too late, of course you're going to be getting contested by so many squads, because this is Sanhok, and there's going to be a team on each and every single part of the map, and of course those late rotation are going to be so, you know, tough for your team, as long as you're just going to be taking those fights and actually just mowing the squads down, just like Blood Legion does sometimes.
You know, Blood Legion, they are a league apart, to be honest. But I really believe, Necro, that I think they will be tested once they are in the PMPL. Now, this is a team that does have those players, does have the right mentality, does have the right approach towards the game. I mean, regardless of any kind of a situation, they never back off. They somehow, even if they're going down, they manage to take some collateral damage along with them and take a few players here and there. And every single time, you know, I'm not telling a good, in fact, the best team does not have to get chicken dinner in every possible game. The best team for me is the team that is really consistent, getting those 10, 12 points. But look at their average. They're averaging around 15 per game. So that is pretty huge considering the numbers. But this is the PMCOs. But now, once they go to the big leagues, once they go against the best teams in the South Asian region, that's where their mettle is going to be tested, because you've got some amazing teams like, you know, you've got Carnage coming in from Nepal. You've got teams like Vibes, Elementrix. So many teams might just possibly come in against you. And of course, you can never rule out those invited teams. You've got teams like DRS, Prop Slayers, players. So yeah, and Venom Legends, another iconic team from this region. So yeah, that is where I truly believe their skills are going to be put to test.
Indeed, yeah. But now, taking a look at SLX, ironic in the entire situation they are in, they do have one of their players knocked out. It's going to be ERZxTRZ and certainly he is going to get finished instantly by Rafi as well. But now, how are SLX going to be reacting to a situation that is occurring in front of them? It seems like certainly it's going to be happening the same as well. And one of the Wolves members also being knocked out from Sketch. Beautiful spray coming in from this man with just an M4 iron sight. It was just an absolute beast spray coming in from this man as well. But now certainly seems like the backup is coming for Wolves as well, and Rafi going to be making a run for his teammate to actually get the res in, and he is certainly going to be doing that. Arceus is certainly going to be getting res by his teammate. And now, overall, taking a look at the situation that has been put in here, of course, SLX are in more disadvantageous position, and certainly seem like they are going to be backing out. But just take a look at the weapon over here. It's an absolute destruction coming in with a Groza with a lot of fire rate, and plus also at the same time carrying that 7.262 ammo.
And this is a perfect weapon, to be honest, for Sanhok. You can't ask for anything more. You just okay, so I mean, I might be greedy if I ask for a suppressor, because that just makes the Groza so soothing, to be honest. You know, the spraying down all those bullets, do not really have to worry about anything on the planet Earth, just mowing down your opponents, and that is a weapon of destruction. In fact, can take down squads after squads. Just one mag, 2 players down, instant. Go for that reload. Of course, again, 2 players down. The only downside, however, to this weapon is that slightly increased reload time. So if you do not really have that extended quick draw on this weapon, so that's where you might just, you know, flinch. But apart from that, it's a wonderful weapon. But moving along, finally, Wolves BD. This time it's Rafi who's going to find that 1 kill for himself, and they desperately need that. I'm not now. This is a team that's way too much in the bottom over here, and this might just be the map that they need, because Sanhok, like we've always been saying, is completely an RNG map. Anything can possibly happen.
Of course, yeah, anything can happen, especially as I was talking about. Of course, it all comes down to those zone positioning in the end. And what our team has the zone, of course, they're going to be having a massive advantage going in as well. But now we really need to take a look where Log1 is, because that's where the zone is all the time. And indeed, now taking a look at Log1, they do seem like they have secured a compound for themselves. And is the zone going to be there, though? That's going to be an interesting question. If the zone is there, I would literally call them gods.
I mean, yeah, this is yet to be tested, to be honest, because even last game, Log1 took quite an early exit. So they need to get back into their survival mode. They need to get those position points for themselves. So considering how these players are just moving around, and well, we'll have to see as to where the zone really goes on, because by the likes of what we have seen so far, it was heading towards Paradise Resort. Now, Blood Legion have taken good control over that area, and sometimes even, you know, the likes of Paradise Resort is very, very difficult to hold on to, because it's such a huge area. It's 4 players are not really sufficient for that, and imagine a team like XCvS just charges in on one direction. So you need to be there in those exact spots to provide the cover fire, or else you might just play at a disadvantage, as one of your players might get taken out. But A1-1952 still holding on to where they did drop. They love to play from those shorelines, love to get those extra kills. But now this might be the moment of truth. This might be the decider as to where the circle might pan out.
But take a look at over here. Seems like Ironic and INES are going to be getting in a fight if they, of course, manage to spot out each other. But certainly, it doesn't really seem like that's going to be anytime the case. And they are literally neighbors to each other. If INES just keeps on moving in the same direction and Ironic decides to actually stop their steps, it's going to be interesting to see how this fight is going to be panning out. But now, taking a look at the rotations that are coming inside the circle as well, one of the big teams, AGT9, also on the bottom side of the map and still outside the circle, going to be contesting that vehicle. Interesting choice coming in. That's going to be the first squad that I've seen since a long time actually contesting those vehicles inside the map of Sanhok. But now, overall situation, taking a look at INES, they do seem a little safe, but they still do need to actually get inside the circle as well. But now, how are they going to be doing that? It's going to be a deciding factor for them itself. But now they do seem like they want to contest the high ground over here. And taking a look at the fight that is occurring in front of us, it seems like ALxK9 are in a massive world of trouble as we take a look at IPGX just absolutely dominating them. And certainly seems like Sincere is just going to be putting an end to them as well. And they have already lost 2 of their players in the fight. Now ALxK9, Insane, and his teammates certainly seem like they do not want to challenge the fight. It's going to be Sad Mad and Insane just going to be backing out from that fight as well, because they just saw an absolute decimation coming in from Sincere there, taking both of them down in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, I mean, this is what IPGX desperately needed, considering their performances. And this is a team that really thrives in a map like Sanhok. Yesterday also we did see, them performing really well. So as long as you're kind of securing yourself.
Another Groza.
Yeah, another Groza. But this is a Groza that I would definitely not risk my life for.
As long as you just don't care.
I mean, the moment I come from the shoreline and swim till the water and then go back, I think 2 circles might have just already passed away.
Yeah, that is probably quite true. As long as you have that boat going in for you as well. But now taking a look at the overall situation that is ending up, seems like KSX are always just ending up in those top situations as well from yesterday. And now KSX, certainly they do have one of the best compounds going in as well, but they do have their neighbors in the past as well. Now it's going to be ERZxTRZ right next to them as well. How are they going to be countering ERZxTRZ? Yes, certainly not really having a great time. And ERZxTRZ do need to pan out what they actually want to do in those late circles as well. But they are certainly managing to safely actually get to those late circle as well. But certainly, just take a look at this. The circle is actually shrinking down so small, and there are still 16 teams alive. Not even a single team has been eliminated. Of course, there are some few people eliminated as well, and that's going to be only 4 people eliminated from the entire game.
Yeah. So quite a slow start to Sanhok, to be honest, and not really what we thought of, because yesterday we did see these teams going absolute berserk. But as the days pass by, the kind of the pressure starts building up. You need those position points, and these teams have sort of figured it out. It's not initially when this point standing came up, we were all of the notion that it's going to be a complete kill heavy meta. But no, that was not a case. This was a meta that was introduced to make those comeback possible. So that is why you need to understand that you need to be positioning yourself really well inside the circle, and as well get a few kills. So consistency is definitely the key to shine in these kind of point standings that we have. But now Log1 still up with their 4 players. Now they have finally found a spot. Do you think this is where the circle is going to end?
I mean, probably, yeah. If it's Log1, then yeah, I'm going to say, yep, the circle is just going to be ending right on them as well. But the way KSX are also surviving till the late game situation, it's a really difficult thing to say as well, because KSX are also getting blessed by the circle each and every single time. But now take a look at the circle, and it seems like it is going to be favoring overall Log1 as well, even KSX as well. Just take a look at these guys, and even Blood Legions have positioned themselves so well, and certainly seems like XCVS, this might be the game coming in for them as well.
I mean, to be honest, I really like the position of A1 1952, and this is where this rotation might really come handy, because they're at the shoreline, so they do not really have to worry about someone being on those edges. So they just need to make it to the center, and they still have the cover from the backside, because there's absolutely no one. So,
but they do have neighbors.
Yeah, they do have neighbors, but they are completely safe from at least their tails. So they do have the numbers. They have those 4 players that can watch around different areas. So now it's all about finding a good spot over there. You've got those rocks, and they need to play around that. But by the looks of it, they're sticking with each other. I believe they've got ALxK9 right beside them, so they might as well take that fight. But look at the traffic happening around the Paradise Resort.
But just take a look at God's Reborn over here. This time they're going to be making the latest, the most, so late rotation inside the circle. Certainly, I feel like they will get punished for that as well by the squads that are in front of them. But certainly, take a look. Seems like Blood Legions are just going to be sticking to the place where they actually dropped initially. It's going to be Paradise Restart. They're not going to be moving a step outside. But taking a look at over here, Log1 seems like they are really hungry for some blood of Max. And certainly seems like a beautiful nade is going to be panning out from Max as well. And is he going to be able to connect him a lot of shots? But no, Sabik missing so many shots in the process as well. And seems like one of the Max members already passed on to them, and they have already made the entry, but Max is under heavy damage fire as well. And as we take a look, Max is going to get eliminated completely.
Yeah, Max is certainly going to bite the elimination over here, and they've been turned into dust. And there was a really continue over here. And Log1. This is the Log1 that I really wanted to see yesterday, and they did show me signs of that. Now, this is the aggressive Log1 that we're talking about. Now, all they need to add is a tinge of good positioning, which they already know how to get. So they're getting those kills. They're getting those extra breathing space in those final circles. Now, they have really been the ones controlling the zone every single time. It's just favoring them. Now imagine the zone takes a curveball in the fourth circle and shifts towards him. So this might just pretty much be another chicken for them.
Indeed, that might be another chicken for them. But now, taking a look at the entire situation over here, Paradise Restart does have 3 squad in them. Yeah. And now, how is Blood Legion going to be out surviving them, out fragging them? It's going to be interesting to see, because positioning is definitely going to be mattering so much, especially in circle like these. But now, overall, the situation seems like Wolves has put themselves in. I do feel like they are in a really tricky situation. Taking a look at, seems like IPG is going to be right next to them as well, as we saw Sincere just absolutely pop out in the past as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we've got the players of Team Wolves going after IPGX. So right now, let's see what Agent is up to. But from the back lines, you've got that beautiful nade going in onto it Sincere. So now another nade being popped out, and you have to see as to how they really perform on this one. So B1, he's just kind of crawling in, and IPGX after those first blood, they've kind of been seeing really off, but AGT9, Sadmat, getting that knock onto his players of Wolf Black Diamond, and Arceus will be finally biting the dust. But Jane, he still has that first hit. He needs to just lob a few more, or else just try to get inside the zone.
Indeed, now it's going to be interesting to see how IPG are going to be panning out the situation in their favor, because we have seen Wolf only getting shortened down to 3 members of them, and now Wolves are certainly in a massive disadvantage spot as well. And when it comes to the man advantage, of course, each and every single man is just an absolute necessity for each and every single team. But taking a look at the overall position that IPG is trying to put themselves in, it's just interesting. Seems like they are just going to be absolutely backing off from the fight. They do not really want to challenge any kind of angles coming in from here. And Asian does seem to capitalize on what is going on over here. Are they going to be wrapping completely around?
Maybe.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yup. That's what they're doing. Taking a look at what Sincere is doing. It seems like he's just going to be wrapping around the entire Wolf squad. But is Wolf squad aware of IPG position? This is going to be interesting to see. Take a look at Jigsaw's position. Jigsaw does realize Mufasa is right in front of him, but is he going to be able to catch him off guard? It certainly seems like that's going to be happening. The spray coming in from him is just going to be an absolute decimation coming in from him as well. But now, taking a look at the entire squad of Wolves over here, they do seem like they're struggling, but the same goes to IPG as well. Now the things are turning into Wolves' favor. Now, Wolves, are they going to be able to capitalize on their position as well? Sincere certainly down to low HP. Sincere going to be just proning behind the stone, and certainly is going to get capitalized by the Wolves squad, and certainly seems like there is an elimination coming in as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And Team Wolves, they've been doing so very well, to be honest. And now, Sincere, he was just really helpless, because once you're prone in, your movements is kind of restricted. But look at the players of XCVS, just hammering down the players of A1 1952 with those Gwens. But Tawfiq from distant Freight did manage to pick up Cherry. Now this is a big knock. Ooh. Now Fahim needs to retaliate, and he needs to do that really quick. Magneto getting into a good cover, and he started cooking off that Gwen. And once if he connects it properly, it might just spell disaster for the boys of XCVS.
But now taking a look at what A1 has caused that themselves for over here, seems like one of their member is going to be Tofik finally going down as well. Now A1 1952 are making the run towards him. They do want to make sure that they have each and every single man secured for themselves, because as they have already came in with a massive casualty, losing one of their members in those early game stages as well, they certainly do not want to lose Tofik as well in a situation like this. Now taking a look at the entire situation over here, Demon going to be falling down from XCVS. Demon certainly biting the dust, and now also getting caught off guard by the zone. That's going to be dealing so much damage to him, as he has already been knocked out as well. But now taking a look at the kill feed as well, Satan69 finally going to be taking down Blood Leo. Finally, Leo does know how it feels to actually, you know, go down. And now overall, Blood Legion are in a really world of trouble. Now taking a look at Fahim's position, Fahim does seem like he is scared a little bit behind that rock, but is he going to be able to get the first hit off? This is going to be interesting to see. Now Dominic Bot does realize that Fahim is outside the circle, but are they going to be able to completely capitalize on his position? No, it's going to be interesting to see. Gyro certainly going to be you know, scoping onto A1 squad there, and it seems like A1 1952 is going to be biting the dust as well. One shot has went down,
but look at the zone, Necro. It's again favoring the boys from Log 1, and this is again the game that they might be looking out for. But INERTIA getting that knock, beautiful one onto its Thunder. Atomic getting that confirmation on one shot. However, Newt does have that vector to play around, and whoa, Scorpion being used over here. He decides, no, that's not the right weapon to go in. But by the looks of it, INERTIA and Salu, those two beautiful players, wiped out the entire existence of Exentric Infinity as IPG4R make a run inside the zone.
Indeed, IPG4, but just take a look at how much damage Miraz is getting dealt with, and certainly Miraz is going to be going down as well, and same, Isan is going to be following him up as well, and now Miraz has been completely finished, and Isan certainly is going to be biting the dust as well. As we take a look, AGT9X has been completely eliminated outside the game as well. Now, KSX are certainly in a massive world of trouble, as only Sakil is the last man standing for them. Last time we did see them absolutely pop off, but this time, certainly KSX are in a world of trouble, and now are they going to be able to make it safe inside the circle? That's going to be interesting to see. And as we take a look at Rafi, Wolves this time are stepping up themselves and certainly proving that they are one of the best teams as well. And now XCVS has been completely eliminated. One of the big names going out in the process. Now taking a look at Wolves also getting eliminated. One of my favorite teams also getting eliminated. Now LOG1 certainly is in such a good position. Taking a look at the entirety of their squad, seems like Blood Legion and Log 1 are in the best possible situation coming in. But now ERZxTRZ do seem like they have stepped their gameplay up a notch over here.
They certainly have managed to do so, but gentlemen are lobbing that grenade over there. ERZxTRZ's White Cat certainly will want to heal up, but before that, he gets that beautiful banger onto it. Gentlemen taking him down from out of the equation, but ERZxTRZ seems like they finally caught up with the pace of the games happening. They're getting a few knocks and kills here and there. They're getting those numbers. They've got 3 kills already with 4 of their players surviving. But look at Yashiro going in for the first aid battle, and he's way too far. Still has those 2 first aids though, but not really working out the way he would have really thought.
Indeed, yeah, it seems like he will be eliminated in the 6th position. But now taking a look at the entire situation over here, seems like Log 1 Chico is in a massive world of trouble, as Blood Legion are just loading their mags and finally going to be finding the knock onto them. Now just take a look at the mayhem that ERZxTRZ is causing as well. Now certainly seems like this time ERZxTRZ has had enough, and they have woken up. The Beast has woken up as well. But now taking a look at the Blood Legion, how are they going to be playing this situation out, as they know ERZxTRZ are also popping off at this point in time. Taking a look at Salu as well. INES, the last man standing for them, and I don't really feel like he's going to be making it inside the circle, and of course he is going to get eliminated outside as well. As we take a look, Salu falls down, and that's going to be the elimination coming in for INERTIA Esports as well. And now taking a look at Gyro, he does know that ERZxTRZ is right in front of them, so he does not really want to give any kind of info to them. So he's just going to be proning and going to be crawling right onto them.
Yeah, he certainly will be, and Fuad not really being in that position that he would want to be, but sick fly, just playing around with him. Now, considering the fact that the zone has shifted into the favor of Blood Legion, and I do not think that they want to leave any stones unturned. And this might just be that comeback game that they were looking for, as Dominic will get those final frags, and it's Mamba who lobs that grenade in and gets that kill onto the players of Log 1, but now he's got his eyes set on the players of SLX Ironic. Now ERZxTRZ have surrounded the compound as to where SLX Ironic are, those two players. They need to go in for that first aid heal battle, but now it's the duel that we are waiting for, Blood Legion versus ERZxTRZ.
Indeed, yeah, this is going to be interesting to see which team is going to be coming out on top, and I already know Blood Legion are going to be taking the chicken dinner in their hands, just the way they're playing. And now ERZxTRZ is all down to Atomic. How long is this man going to be holding them off? It's going to be interesting to see now. It's all down to Atomic as well. And Atomic just barely surviving, proning down on the situation. Gyro still thinks that there is someone inside the house, and Atomic has been spotted, and Blood Legion coming out on top as well.
Oh my goodness. Another ruthless murder by the boys from Blood Legion, and another beautiful chicken dinner coming in. Just as we were talking about them kind of lacking on those chickens, they get one more to their belt, and again with 11 kills, and nobody is now in even close vicinity to where they are on the points table in the overall standings. They're in the top spot, and this 26 points is even gonna rocket them up further. So now they've reached heights where it's going to be really difficult. I mean, if they mess up on like 3-4 games, maybe someone might just close in. But by the looks of it, by the way they're playing, by how confident they are in their approach, I don't think that's happening this time around. But let's take a look at the MVP of this game, and that had to be Dominic.
Indeed, one thing I really want to point out over here, Blood Legion from Bangladesh region and Carnage from Nepal region are one of the most consistent teams that I've ever spotted in my entire life. And now, showing this kind of performance over here is just an absolute fascinating thing to witness. But now, taking a look at Dominic Bot's kills over here, it seems like he's just going to be getting 6 kills with only 390 damage. Yeah, definitely lacking in those damage stats as well. It seems like the kills were just flowing in an easy mode on this man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the way Dominic has been playing, right from the very start. Every single player, be it Ryan, be it Leo, be it Gyro, be it Dominic, everyone knows their role in the squad. And when it comes down to adapting, because not every day Dominic will shine, not every day Gyro will shine, that's where Ryan and Leo come in. Indeed, Ryan does even find himself in those top kill leaderboard category. But now we'll take a look at the top players of this particular map. And there you have Gyro and Dominic with the domination yet again. But what I really like is that ERZxTRZ are finally finding their pace in.
Indeed, ERZxTRZ are finally doing it as well. But now, ERZxTRZ did manage to secure that second position as well. But I don't really feel like they were on that kill-heavy side, though. I mean, yeah, they have secured those 12 positioning points going in for their side. But yeah, I don't really feel like they have managed to secure that many kills coming up for them. I do really feel like they only managed to secure like 4 or 5 kills for the entire squad over there. But yeah, overall, I don't really feel like that's going to be a massive lead going up for them. So yeah, I do feel like they might be in that top 8 situation, ERZxTRZ.
I mean, this is really big for them, considering how they've been playing in the past 2 days, right? Anything in the top 3 is very much acceptable, even for me. I mean, this is a team that we've known that has got that potential. We're certainly lacking off. Finally, this is slowly and surely they are, increasing their numbers, increasing their points. This is going to help them now. This is the third day. That is where they, have to start increasing those points. But now let's take a look at the match summary and see, Dominic, of course, having the highest kills, Magneto with the highest damage. Not a really heavy damage affair, because the circle was just like that, as teams kind of had their kills kind of distributed amongst everyone.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying since the first day. Like, Sanhok isn't really a map where you get to see one player just absolutely pop off, because the kills are just evenly distributed between each and every single squad mates that you have. And overall, you were talking about it's going to be helping ERZxTRZ a lot to get this second position going in. Of course, their name will be, I feel like, on the top 8 position coming in as well, as we are going to be seeing their name as well. But now, how are they going to be playing in the upcoming maps? That's going to be the deciding factor for them to actually freezing their spot in that top 8 position.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about all their players, all these players, all their position. Let's take a look at the match ranking and see for ourselves. Blood Legion again, 26 points, like we've already seen. But these 18 points, you know, 18, 15, that's certainly going to help ERZxTRZ right now. But again, log1 Esports. I mean, it still continues. Their zone prediction being 100% accurate. Every single time they make it inside the circle, the zone favors them.
I just don't understand what kind of eyes these guys have, and just I really want to meet their IGL. How does he actually manage to decide where the zone is going to be going? Because that man has some futuristic brain if he is actually just panning out the zones like that. And they certainly seem like they have cracked the codes of how the zone works.
Yeah, I mean, every single time, you know, if they survive and they've managed to, you know, figure out where the zone ends, and it's right on them. You know, it's not the game of the PUBG Mobile really trying to build up the zones. It's rather feeling like the players of log1 who are controlling the circles. So with the way they are, you know, rotating. It was, however, it did come down, you know, to the gunfight potential. That is where they were clearly overplayed the players of Blood Legion.
Yeah, they certainly did lack in those gunfire coming in as well. But now take a look at Max over here. What is going on with Max as well? We did see even Wolves standing up, but certainly Wolves also went down in early off as well. Now Max and Wolves do need to step up their gameplay. We did see ERZxTRZ getting outside from that, you know, bottom lines over there. Now when are these teams going to be stepping their gameplay up? That's going to be interesting to see, because that, of course, when you're going to be stuck in those bottom lines, it's going to be harder for you to move up as the days passes by, because the squads that are above you, or the teams that are above you, certainly are going to be racking up points as well. And if you're just going to be in those bottom lines all the time, you are certainly going to be lacking in a lot of points to actually contest those squads that are above you.
Yeah, of course. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a look at the OPPO moments of the day. And there you go. As things started, it was a good start for the players of Exentric, of course, getting that frag. But this team has been kind of off today, considering how they've been playing. So now, if you talk about Max, if you talk about teams like Wolves, now this is where we reach the halfway mark for our regional finals. 10 games done, 10 more games remaining. And you need to buckle up. I mean, I know you're having a lot of troubles. You know this might be your first PMCO, but that's what you've been grinding for the past 1 year. You've been waiting for the chance, and you've gotten so close. And you do not really want to take an exit from over here, because now you qualify from the PMCO. You've got the Pro League. Now, if you play well over there, you've got such a bright career ahead of you in esports. Considering, you know, in Bangladesh, in regions like Nepal, it's still on the rise, and you will be recognized across the globe, of course, with your performances. And we've seen the teams, you know, really being known right now. But now let's take a look at the damage graph and see how the damage was split up. And there you go. It's pretty much the thing that we were kind of anticipating.
Blood Legion just outstanding anyone in those damage graph, and as well ERZxTRZ following it up. But as you were talking about, of course, when these guys are actually going to be getting in those top spots, of course, they're going to be rolling with so much fame as well. And even on the social media and all over there, they're just going to be getting so much fame overall. And of course, the money is going to be flowing in as well as they are getting that fame. But overall, taking a look at the damage graph, certainly it does seem like Blood Legion is just dominating all across the place, no matter what kind of stat board it is. We do see one of the Blood Legion member every single time in those stat lists.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to. You have to, because considering the kind of kills that they take, considering how they even take on the circle. I mean, right from the start, they did a lot of drop-off at Paradise, and the rotation was so bang on. Considering there were so many teams, they made that early quick rotation. They kind of avoided those fights, and the fights that they could take, they took it really in a smart manner, and that is definitely going to skyrocket them up in the overall rankings, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at it and see how much of a difference is it now. Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, certainly taking a look at that, just take a look at total points. 168, way far away. As we were talking about, they literally have a car which is just out of this world. They have the futuristic car coming in for themselves. But as you were talking about the rotation, of course, the drop selection that was marked for Blood Legion was just absolutely phenomenal. It was Paradise Resort, and for the first two circles, they didn't even need to move. All they were doing was just camping all over Paradise Resort, and then when the actually circle decided to move away a little bit from the Paradise Resort. They did make their rotation on that lower side of the compound. This is where the last fight happened.
Yeah.
And now taking a look at even at A1 Esports 1952, they're not really able to show up. As we did see yesterday, like they were absolutely showing a little bit of their name over there. Yeah, of course they were on the top, but this time they are just not really able to do much.
Yeah, they certainly aren't. But ERZxTRZ, like I mentioned, the previous game they were in the 13th spot. Now they're looking promising. Now they've kind of reduced the gap. It's not too much. And another, second or third position, position standing in the next game of Miramar, maybe with 7 or 8 kills. I think they might enter the top 8. There's a slight possibility of that, but only time is going to tell as to what is going to be happening for ERZxTRZ. But before that, we will be heading for a short little break, so you don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to day number 3 of the regional finals of the PUBG Mobile Club Open Spring Split 2021. The Bangladesh region, of course, sponsored to you by Oppo Reno 5. As we head along to Miramar, and before that, we now finally see Blood Legion having that massive 70+ points difference. So let's take a head-to-head, in fact, at the two distinguished teams that we have. One is, of course, going to be Log1, and I would love to see how they go against INERTIA. So now we can make certain comparisons over here. INERTIA, despite the fact that they do not have a single chicken, but look at the kills.
Yeah, indeed. Take a look at the kills over there. Of course, INERTIA is just absolutely stepping their game style up when it comes to those kill comparison. But even taking a look at the damage received, certainly it does seem like INERTIA are taking a lot much more bullets in their dome than Log1 are doing. But overall, of course, as we all see, just INERTIA Esports just outstanding in those gun performance coming in for them as well, and even outstanding them in those total points, but not really much though. Just 1 point difference coming in, and I'm pretty sure this Miramar map is definitely going to be favoring the team that is going to be having the best zone prediction coming in.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's not just a zone prediction over here in Miramar. It's about proper positioning during those fights, because you've got those ridges, those small dips to play around. You need to traverse around the map. But we will get an answer as to who gets the chicken in this one, as the game is finally live for you, ladies and gentlemen, as the flight path trajectory heads from Valademar all the way up to Torre Ahmuda.
Indeed, but now the plane fly path, of course, the team that actually want to go to Los Leones are going to be having a little bit of struggle, because certainly they will have to glide all the way across. But now, of course, ERZxTRZ is also going to be one of the far distance glide also coming in for them. But certainly seems like it's going to be SLX Ironic Sick Fly dropping out in the first time over here. And it does seem like they are going for the complete bottom side of the map. I don't really know what kind of strategy are they trying to pull out their sleeves this time, but it's going to be interesting to see SLX Ironic even stepping out their gameplay this time, and even just, try to secure those chicken dinner as well, because we haven't really seen them secure any kind of chicken dinner since a long time. But overall, it seems like ERZxTRZ are going to be going to Chumacero this time, and even taking a look at A1 1952, they do seem like they are going towards the San Martin area. So it's going to be overall really interesting to see how these guys are going to be panning the situation out in their favor, because it does seem like there are so many teams just scattered across in those middle of the map situations coming in. And to be honest, I do feel like there might be some early frags or early fights happening.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of early fights might just happen because...
Take a look at that.
Yeah, so many teams on towards that western side and heading towards the northern areas. But there you go, A1 1952. Again, to a very promising position, and so are the players of Blood Legion. Now, we're going to see as to Log 1. They, I believe, might be heading towards El Azahar. And once they do that, and if we get an El Azhar circle, that's really going to blow my mind. But INES is going to be a tough time for them, considering the fact that they're still sitting on that second position, finally kind of figuring their groove in on to the points table. But now we still see so many teams, still taking their plunge, still parachuting around. And Log 1, of course, I think traveling the distance over here.
Indeed, yeah. And to be honest, if I want to make the zone prediction, the next circle was definitely going to be somewhere around Junkyard, because we have seen that kind of circle in the past, and we do know what kind of mayhem does get caused when the circle is on that side. And I really want to see that mayhem popping up again. And taking a look at the entire Exentric squad this time, seems like they're going to be making a really unique drop location over here. They are going to be contesting for the Campo Militar position this time. It's going to be the entire Exentric squad, even counting C1 in. And certainly seems like COD's Reborn do want to challenge them this time. I don't really know if that's a really good idea coming from Koa to actually just go head-to-head against the entire Exentric Infinity squad over there. But yeah, you certainly need to watch out for yourself. Now, taking a look at the entire Log 1 squad, it seems like they're just going to be contesting that vehicle and going to be making their way towards El Azhar, which is a really beautiful decision coming in from them.
Yeah, it certainly is right now. But taking a look at Log 1, they've secured the El Azhar area, like you mentioned. And that's such a nice spot because no one is really around them. They have all that entire area to themselves. But Exentric Infinity, oh my goodness, what's going wrong with them? I mean, we haven't really seen the players popping off today. So if they kind of continue to doing that, they might just be in a whole world of trouble as we speak. Shuvo falling down, and these are those early engagements, these are those early losses that they cannot really afford at this particular moment.
Indeed, yeah, those first bloods coming in as well, and especially losing one of the man like Shu over there, it's going to be, not really going to be a really good thing coming in from them. But now, focusing on the other teams, seems like, Exentric are certainly in a massive world of trouble, but why was Shuo so far away from his team?
I mean, he wanted some separate solo selfish loot for himself, and he was like, guys, I'll watch myself. You don't worry about me. And maybe you know, that was the thought process.
Overconfidence.
I think it was more about the fact that you know, the desired drop location that they had was way too far, because I can see those players, you know, still trying to traverse around the map.
Indeed, yeah. But now, certainly this time, it does seem like, you know, overall the INETIA squad do seem like they have a really juicy loot going in for them. If you take a look at their meds condition going in as well, that beautiful M4 coming in with that Mini 14, and also a lot of meds going in. And I do feel like INES are just stacked up so good on that loot. And overall, it's going to be interesting to see how things are going to be panning out for them. And certainly goes the same with the IPG4 ARC squad as well. They are looking so good on their loot, and even that Erangel going to be favoring them in the late game situation or late game phases. But what really interesting is that the squads that were landing on the bottom left side of the map, the complete far away, which was SLX Ironic, how are they going to be getting inside the circle? That's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, that certainly is going to be really, really interesting to, you know, see. And let's see, you know, the first circle has started to close in, and Blood Legion, they are so filled with their loot right up till the stomach.
Yep.
And they don't need much. This is a team that has heavily prioritized on the timings of those zone rotations, and they've been doing so well. Now, IPG4 ARC, this is a team, well, not the kind of a start that they would have wanted for themselves today, and this has been taking them down. This has been pulling them down in terms of their overall rankings. But Dominic has spotted down over here the players of ALxK9 and does take a few shots at them, reducing his scope of the 6 times to 3 times, of course, adjusting that. Kind of was late, as a result of which he could not do a lot of damage. And this is where ALxK9 will just move into safe covers, find a better position for themselves, and then maybe wait for the boys from Blood Legion to come in.
Indeed, yep. Now, Leo, of course, one of the members from Blood Legion, is stepping up so much, especially carrying on the support role, and as well managing to get and secure that much damage and plus that much frags is just an absolute beauty in itself. And taking a look at Leo's gameplay as well, he does seem like he is playing in those backlines, trying to provide as much as cover for the team, especially prioritizing and trying to give as much as importance to the fraggers. As we take a look, one shot has been compromised, and in the open ground has been caught off guard from Tesla. Now, how did that happen from one shot over there? He was just running in the middle field out of nowhere.
What was he doing? I mean, this was not acceptable. This is not acceptable at all, because you're so much out in the open. You've exposed your entire body to your opponent, and you can't really expect them to treat you, you know, in happy arms, right? So, of course, being punished for that very silly mistake. But now, not shade. We know this lad is capable of so much more. Yesterday, we did see that in Erangel, how well he played. So, he's one of the players definitely we will have to watch out for. But ALxK9, in those group stages, this team was really consistent in terms of getting those positions. But somewhere down the line, you know, coming down to the regional finals, they kind of lost their flow. As a result of which, they are pretty down over here in terms of overall standings as they look to redeem themselves today.
Indeed, yep. The redemption would definitely be one of the main keys going inside this game as well. But now, taking a look at the entire ALxK9 squad, certainly they did seem like they were struggling today this entire time, because they're not really having the game of their life this time, because they are certainly really lacking in those positioning points going in for them. Of course, positioning yourself inside the late games and even managing to secure the high ground is just going to be racking up so many kills for you and even your squad mates. So that's definitely going to be one of the majoring factors inside coming in for a massive success for your team, and certainly seems like ALxK9 are not really able to do that. And certainly AJT9 were one of the teams in the Erangel map, were dominating the entire circle, but then certainly they did fall apart and weren't really able to secure that. But now taking a look at the airdrop, it's going to be the MK14, the absolute destruction of a weapon. It seems like it's going to be IPG4 ARC members going to be trying to contest that drop, and even has a suppressor with it.
Just the right thing that you would expect from that airdrop. Now,
Especially the map is Miramar. It's going to be so much destruction coming in.
all you need is a 6 times right now, or maybe 8 times, whatever you prefer. But this weapon, we've seen a lot of players also use it in those close range scenarios. You know, it has that insane firing rate. And once you start, you know, hitting the shots, your opponents kind of get deafened. They don't really hear the rest of the bullets. But yeah, jokes apart, now IPG4R, they've got a solid airdrop for themselves. But how are they going to utilize that in terms of their rotation, in terms of the fights they're taking? They need that in those close counter engages. But I wouldn't be really surprised that if they use it as a DMR.
Indeed. I mean, to be honest, in those early game phases till those late game phases, I really feel like you should be using the MK14 as a DMR. And then when it's like in those close quarter fights, in those late game situations, you can just use it as an auto gun and just absolutely mow anyone down with only 4 bullet shots onto their body and just going to be taking them down completely. But now, taking a look at the Max squad over here, seems like they are just going to be cruising through onto the hill, and it certainly did get spotted by IPG4R Stranger and his teammates, but certainly not going to be able to do much over there. As taking a look, Deadloves does seem like he is down on a really low HP, and Max finally going to be finding a compound for them to actually contest and overall just camp around the compound as well. But now taking a look at Exentric squad as well, seems like they're going to be spotting Log, and they are under a heavy fire. As we take a look, TDJR just unloading his mags onto them. Is he going to be able to find much of the shots though? Seems like he's in a massive world of trouble, as one of the Log 1 members from the backlines is just going to be mowing him down.
Yeah, absolutely. But right now, if we take a look at the scenario over here, so Log1 has finally gotten a good spot for themselves, but they're kind of surrounded by a lot of teams over here. You've got IPG4R, you've got Exentric Infinity, you've got ALxGR, that's got Reborn right on your tails, and INES is making the late rotation inside the zone. They're going to take their own sweet time, and the same can be said for the boys from IPGX, so Infernal, Parasite. So we got to see as to how they are performing in this one. But so far has kind of been a silent affair in Miramar, as all these teams are trying to prioritize the center, trying to have that high ground advantage. Now, if it kind of shifts towards where Exentric Infinity are, they've got a really good position playing for themselves, and Log1 really caught off guard and being taken down. It's Sabik, one of their main fraggers, in fact their highest fraggers.
Indeed, yes, Sabik, one of the best fraggers they have to offer. But now take a look at the situation that is occurring. Seems like Max has capitalized on the entire Log 1 squad there, and seems like Chico's going to be taking a heavy amount of damage. And now taking a look at 24K as well, trying to switch around his position, but certainly not going to be able to be successfully do that. And 2 of the Log 1 members are already taken completely down from the entire Max 1 squad. The relentless aggression coming in from these lads was just an absolute beauty to witness. And certainly Log 1 didn't really have any kind of answer for themselves, as we see Log1 already crumbling down on their knees. They are struggling so much this time.
They certainly are, and you know, the struggle is increasing by the numbers every single time. And Log1, you know, they had that third spot going in for themselves in the overall rankings. Now, if they miss out on this one, if they do not get enough position points, I mean, I'm not talking about kills anymore, because it's going to be really a tough affair for Rolex to get so much done with no support. And it's still 16 teams alive. So Log1 really in a bad spot over here. But at the same time, Team Max, finally, they realize that they've got nothing to lose. They're just going in ham right on the faces of their opponents, wiping down, almost wiped out Log1. I mean, as if Rolex been there, he would have been taken down as well.
Indeed, yeah, of course, that would have been happening in the process. Just overall, the way these guys are playing was just absolutely relentless. But now, certainly does seem like they have spotted the member of Wolves also, and some of the rotations coming in. But doesn't really seem like Max is interested into actually firing down bullets onto them. Yeah, of course, there are members of IPG4R also, and even some Wolf members over there. And there are still some rotations coming inside the circle as well. So there are just overall so many people. But as we take a look over here, the handsome man Ironclad has joined back in again.
Yeah, he certainly has. And right now, I mean, well, Ironclad has come in, but is it too late right now? That's the big question, because we still do not want to get more out of ourselves over here, because it's just those 2 kills Max have secured, with still 16 teams alive. I'm not calling the shots right now, but the players of Team Wolves BD, they're going against IPG4 Arc, and Jigsaw has managed to spot down Dictator, but the Ramen goes in as Agent and Roffy go pushing in.
Oh, take a look at the position of that Stranger has. He does want to contest anyone from the backlines, but doesn't really seem like Wolves is going to be stopping anytime soon. The aggression is coming in, and they certainly have spotted Dictator out, but Dictator is going to be running through, as he does know that one of his team is in the backlines, and if he does manage to get securely safe, the beautiful nade coming in from Dictator as well. Is it going to be doing enough damage, though? No, certainly not going to be dealing any kind of damage, as the nade was not certainly well cooked. And now he's also going to be Molotoving his position out, making sure no one's going to be pushing in. And Roffy taking a heavy amount of beating from that Molotov. Is he going to be surviving it out? And certainly it does seem like Roffy is going to be barely surviving onto his knees. But Bad Asian does seem like he is going to be cooking a nade right onto him. And there comes the damage in as well. But certainly Asian has been taken down by Stranger. This man is just an absolute beast. But Roffy is right there to actually capitalize onto his position. And Stranger has been completely finished and eliminated outside the game.
Yeah, he certainly has been, and right now we'll have to take a look as to how Blood Legion is going to approach this one out. We've got the players of INES engaging against Dominic, and Dominic goes down in the process as Salu will get a beautiful knock onto him. This is again revenge in paradise for these players, because they've gone against each other in the past and the scores have been equalized. Now they are looking to raise the numbers for them, but you still can't say anything, because Dominic is going to get that revive on. Gyro is in that shroud of smoke as Clutch has started closing in onto him. Gyro going in, waiting, in fact, would want to cook a few grenades here and there. Then this is a nade barrage coming out from the players of Blood Legion, and Dominic is going to get back up any single time right about now.
Indeed, one of the most iconic fights that we all want to witness is going to be between INES and Blood Legion. Which team is going to be coming out on top? Certainly, right now, it does seem like Blood Legion are in a little bit of trouble, as they do have Dominic onto really low HP. And as I'm talking about that, Dominic has been taken down, and certainly Ryan as well. Blood Legions are crumbling down on their knees. Now it's all down to Gyro. Too much, though. Leo has been taken down in the process as well. Gyro, are you going to be able to do much? And certainly this time, it does seem like beautiful contestation coming from INES. It's going to be completely eliminating the massive squad that's going to be Blood Legions.
Now this is
first ever time getting eliminated first off.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that in the past, INES wiping out Blood Legion, but this time in such a fashion, without any casualty, they have managed to do so. So this is one of those teams that can go head to head against the likes of Blood Legion, and A1, they must be feeling the electricity surging through their bodies after the way in which they really wiped them out, because it all started with Dominic falling off, then INES really having that high ground advantage for themselves, as we see the boys from Max, Casper rather, getting a few kills here and there. But ERZxTRZ, as they are making their comeback story real today, they also need to have another consistent performance this time around as well. Casper just pushing in onto its Koa, so let's see how he plays this one out. He's just playing down on the ridges, has not really committed, finally going in from the eastern side, has managed to spawn out 1v4 over there, taking so much shots at him, but not really managing to get that knock.
Indeed, of course, Umer taking that backfire as well, and certainly going to be backing up behind the ridge and going to be using that first aid, of course, which is a really mature decision coming in from that man as well. But now he does have some of the teammates in the back line trying to secure him down. But I also want to focus my thoughts a little bit onto the fight that happened between INES and Blood Legions there. Just the way overall INES played that out. Also, they sent 2 of their members in those back lines trying to flank out Dominic and even Leo, and actually did work out. And those 2 managed to even take out Ryan, Leo, and Dominic as well. But now, holding on to my words for a second, taking a look at the fight that is occurring in front of us, it's going to be between Max and even God's Reborn. Which team is going to be coming out on top? It's going to be interesting to see, as the utilities are being used in the process. So many utilities are getting burnt, and now certainly seems like Max are going to be in a little bit of trouble, as Ironclad has been completely taken out as well. Now they are certainly losing on one of their main members over there. Ironclad is missing. So now how are Max going to be capitalizing onto the entire position or entire situation that is building up right in front of them? And certainly it does seem like God's Reborn do not want to completely challenge this fight this time. They do not want to completely aggress it, but as I'm talking about, Casper has went down. Beautiful capitalization coming in from these guys as well. And now Umar does seem like he want to play in those backlines as well, but Umar going to be taking a heavy amount of damage, and even King also in the same process. Umar barely surviving, but not for long. And finally, he's going to be taken down by Koa as an absolute beast.
Wow, I mean, that was such an amazing play coming out from the boys of God's Reborn. Again, wiping out Team Max. And their woes really continues. They've been put down to the misery. But now we've got the players of SLX Ironic trying to make their rotation in. They've spotted down the boys of A1 1952 as XCVS also go charging in. Jerry with that Bucky, but he's taking some heavy damage up until the point. Magneto gets that knock and gets a confirmation on him.
Indeed, yeah, the knock is going to be turning things out so much in their favor. Now, taking a look at the entire INERTIA squad, we do know they are in a really healthy state, but the zone is certainly going to be forcing them to actually change their position inside the circle as well. And as soon as they actually decide to rotate inside, there is a heavy amount of chance that they might just get contested by any of the squads that are in front of them. But now, taking a look at SLX Ironic, they do seem like they want to aggress their way onto God's Reborn, but is it going to be that easy as much as they're thinking? Seems like XCVS Fahim is going to be right in front of them. And Fahim's position has been completely contested. And as we keep on talking, SCVS has been completely eliminated as well. But now they do have right their members in front of them. And even God's Reborn do seem like they have their enemies right in front of their eyes as well. Lockdown in their side, it's going to be A1 1952. But overall, taking a look at the SLX Ironic position, seems like he is Sigfly is going to be backing off to his teammates as well. But now, take a look at the INES position as well. They all do have a massive ridge going up for them, and even no one is going to be flanking them from the backlines as well. So INES overall does have really good position, but seems like Clutch is going to be having a hard time clutching this situation out.
Yeah, he certainly is going to have a really hard time. But taking a look at the boys over here, A1 Esports 1952, they've somehow made it inside the circle. They're looking good, but so are the players of SLX Ironic. And they're well scattered off. They've got a lot of room to play. Around 32 players still surviving in the lobby as Wolves Black Diamond take an elimination in the 10th spot with just 2 kills. Not the kind of an outing that they would have wanted for themselves. But look at the boys of Team INES, relentless, you know, trying to charge their way in every single time inside the zone with all those beautiful kills that they're garnering for themselves. And Gajor and Salu, every single player, the way they have been displaying, the way they've been performing, I think they might just inch in the gap that you know, Blood Legion has really built. But right now, ALxK9 going against SLX Ironic as Sketch and Satan are in a really bad spot.
Indeed, they are in a really bad spot, having that little dip for their cover. But how long are they going to be able to contest that? And certainly seems like the aggression is going to be coming in through. ALxK9 do not want to back off anytime soon, and the kills are going to be coming in as well. The 2 knockdowns for Ironic are going to be so disappointing over there, as they do have 2 of their teammates on that high ground going in as well. But how long are they going to be able to deal damage? That's going to be interesting to see, because the nades and utilities are suddenly coming in through. But those nades and utilities are going to be dealing a little bit of damage and also creating a little bit of space for them to actually move inside. But just take a look at this M46X spray. Absolute beauty coming in as well, but Sadmat exposing himself and even not really focusing that there were 2 of the teammates in the backlines as well, and he is going to get contested. But now ALxK9 certainly in massive water trouble, as they are absolutely getting contested from all the angles. And now Sigfly also going to be taking the advantage that ALxK9 has put themselves in. Now over there, Sigfly is a little bit low on his HP. He's going to be spotting the last member of the down. ALxK9 goes.
Yeah, they kind of, what a beautiful fight coming out from the players of SLX Ironic over there, wiping out the existence of ALxK9. But INES, they are doing so very good with every single time, you know, just going in, taking down squads after squads. But right now, Salu YT, he is knocked out. He needs that revive onto it himself. Exentric, the boys, they are engaging over here, as finally C-Wine has spotted out Salu right out in the open. He would want to get that kill for himself, but where is the cover fire coming in from Newt? It's certainly not over there. And well, it's just a matter of seconds before Saluk, you know, bites the dust. As INES, well, can they get a chicken in this one? And by the looks of it, by Salu getting that elimination, it looks very, very unlikely.
Indeed, but now taking a look at one of the most powerful team, of course, it's going to be Exentric, and taking a look at C-Vine. This man is one of the most lethal man that this team has to offer. Now, all the teams do have to watch out for Exentric position as well. And now it seems like ERZxTRZ also getting eliminated in the 6th spot, but it seems like the Ironic is certainly going to get spotted as well. Execute is taking a massive amount of damage. Now, how long is he going to be able to survive that? That's going to be interesting to see. Now, KSX are also in a massive world of trouble as they do have one of their members knocked down in the positioning as well. But INES are completely keeping Exentric pinned down on their site. How long are they going to be able to successfully do that?
We gotta see. We have to see as to how they're going to perform. As to Kashar, so INES, they are now down to their last two members, but they're kind of surrounded. You can see they're kind of in the middle of nowhere. Any single team, you know, just stepping up on their covers can spot them out. But I guess Thunder, he has the intentions of taking down B1 and will do a really good, decent job at finishing them off. And now we just have 4 teams remaining, 10 players alive. Everyone eyeing out for that chicken, but the shift certainly going into the favor for the boys of INES. Now, if Team Exentric, the way the Thunder is rotating over here, they kind of successfully managed to pull that one off. I think they might just pull this one out.
Indeed, they might. But now, taking a look at the entire situation over here, INES certainly do seem like they do have one of the most dominating positions. But KSX do have a lot of teammates alive. But now, taking a look, Gajar under heavy fire. And C1 certainly going to be capitalizing onto his position and taking him down. Now, it's all down to Newt from INES. And Gajar certainly is going to get finished from TDJR as well. And Exentric are just on an absolute killing spree as we take a look at Thunder. Just take a look at this man. He's just aggressing all over the place. And finally, INES is going to get completely eliminated from Exentric.
Yeah, of course. And now Exentric Infinity. Now they've got that very, very good position inside the circle. Top 3 teams have made it so far. We've got Sanhok, KSX. Such a consistent performance today from their side. But now CY needs to fend off the push. That's going to come in any single moment as Sanhok has been spotted. But CY taking his own time backing him off as the revival onto its Thunder is online. But look at the boys from KSX. All 3 of them pushing from one angle and the 4th one pushing from another as Diptosh will get that knock onto its Sakil as the revival is already there onto its Thunder.
Indeed, Thunder is doing so much in this fight going on as well, but now it does seem like Exentric are on a really world of advantages going in for here because KSX are certainly crumbling down out of the knees. Taking a look at Esan's position as well. He is in the back lines, but certainly Sanhok is also going to be doing the same. He doesn't really want to actually challenge the fight instantly, but seems like this time he wants to take that flank angle and going to be separating out from his team. Now just take a look at Sakil over here as well. He needs to pop that first hit in, and certainly he's going to be doing the same thing as I'm talking about that. Now Exentric and KSX are in a really unique and equal situation over here. Yeah, KSX does have that rich going in for them, but the circle is certainly favoring Exentric squad over there, and KSX will get forced as the circle keeps on moving and the zone keeps on shrinking. Now it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to be playing the situation out. Yeah, of course, it's going to be interesting to see, but now Exentric overall, they do know what they have to do. They are just going to be waiting it out.
They certainly are, but you know, this was the time where KSX could have really capitalized. You know, Ehsan could have done a lot trying to take that flank angle early on and made that push and applied that extra heavy pressure onto its the boys of Exentric. But now they're just gonna play it out. They're just gonna play the zone out over here by the looks of it, because neither of the teams really wants to commit over here, considering how the circle has fed off. Everyone has their riches that on which they can just play around. Of course, KSX having the numbers, this extra one man, that might really be the changing fact. That might be really instrumental in their victory over here. But they need a few cranes to work out. By the looks of it, I think they are out of utilities. Yep. So they're going to just go right head in.
Indeed, but going all in raw, it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to be trying to position themselves. Especially, yeah, of course, they might be having the high ground advantage coming in, but especially in situations like this, when the zone is not favoring your team, you are certainly in a world of trouble, as KSX are certainly doing the same thing. Going to be just proning down right in the middle of the field and just going to be crawling slowly and slowly as we see TDPR going to be spotting him down, but Sakil is just way far up, and we are taking Sakil, just absolutely dominating the entire Exentric squad. And now it's all down to Thunder. The Thunder going to be finally crumbling down as well, and the chicken dinner has been secured by KSX.
Yes, finally. And this was a much needed respite chicken dinner that Team KSX needed. And whoa,
massive numbers, massive number. Take a look at the damage: 1,712 and even 28 points and 13 kills.
It's fine. It's fine. Third position, just for one game. They 3rd in the overall rankings just from one game.
Yep.
That's the take.
This is how we know like how much gap is between those top 8 teams.
You get a chicken, you're in top 3. You get another chicken, you're in top 3. So that's the storyline that we are having, ladies and gentlemen, for you guys. But now let's take a look at the MVP, which was that one individual player that
KSX, Sanhok, of course. But yeah, one thing I really want to spot out over here is that Blood Legions did give a little bit of room for the other teams to actually tackle them down in those overall leaderboards, because they were the first squad that went down in the entire Miramar map there. But is any of the team going to be able to tackle them down? Because I still do seem like those teams from those top 2 positions weren't really able to do much. Of course, now KSX have moved on the 3rd spot as we saw, and KSX is definitely going to be stealing that 3rd spot from the other team.
We're going to see a lot of switcheroos around, because now Exentric have also made their comeback in. So I've got to see how INES have positioned themselves, considering the fact that now KSX has taken the 3rd spot. And I have been beating around the bush for quite some time. I've been so critical about KSX having that potential, but certainly not finding their rhythm. And this game was so neat, so smartly executed. But let's take a look at the top players of this particular match that we had in Miramar, and it was Sanhok, Thunder, C-Wine, and Miraz are pretty much those common names that you would expect of yourself. Exentric had the 4th player that could have been more of an even warfare, but yeah, it is a battle royale. You cannot really expect to fight under even circumstances.
Indeed, of course, yeah, you cannot be expecting, because of course sometimes you might be outnumbered by the men, or sometimes you might just be unlucky with the zone, as we were talking about before. But of course, Simon is just always on those leaderboards all the time when Exentric is performing really good. And this is what tells us whenever Exentric is actually performing really good, it's because of C-Wine.
Yeah, and he's always been there for his squad and through the thick and thins of it. But now let's take a look at the match summary and get an idea as to how the numbers game worked out. And so KSX finally, throughout the day they've been consistent, and they finally managed to break in, get that chicken for themselves. So
Sanhok is everywhere.
Yeah, Sanhok is everywhere. He's that good. But apart from that, how does this change things in the overall standings, in the storyline that is being built up? Of course, the first position being held on. Of course, the first position being held on by the boys from Blood Legion. Then you've got, I believe, INES, and KSX is on the 3rd spot. But where does that put Exentric Infinity in?
Exentric Infinity, and of course I do feel like they might be in the top 8 situation somewhere, because I do feel like this was one of the games where Exentric did pop off in those kill favor side. But certainly in those positioning, it was a little questionable going in. Yeah,
but now let's get some answers. Let's get some puzzles, being fixed up. Let's take a look at the match ranking over here, as KSX managed to get that 28 points. Chicken and INERTIA Esports not far behind, 16 points for these lads as well. Ironics making a beautiful comeback. And ERZxTRZ, not really the performance that I would have expected, but 6 points is still not too shabby. But and ERZxTRZ, apart from them, Blood Legion,
Blood Legion, of course, getting eliminated first off. That we definitely did not expect Blood Legion to actually bite the dust so early on in this time. But yeah, overall, we are seeing some new squads actually top up this time. And of course, KSX is going to be stepping their gameplay up. And then Exentric also taking the 2nd place. But one thing I really was expecting that Exentric to actually win that previous map. But now, taking a look at the next page, I really want to see how these bottom teams were doing in that previous match there. Of course, Max was one of the teams that was showing the early aggression on the Log1 players there. And Log1 certainly, I do feel like behind the success of Max, Log1 has a massive hand there, because they were the one who actually lost 2 of their players to Max, and then certainly 1 kill just came in out of nowhere for Max as well.
Yeah, but the stars are kind of falling down for A1 1952. They're certainly not finding their groove inside all these games, and it's been a long time. But as we move along to our Oppo moments of the day, let's carry on forward the conversation, and we'll get us a more clearer picture, because now Log1 kind of messed up on this one. Even Blood Legion kind of messed up on this one.
I was really questionable. Like, I don't really know what one shot was doing. we don't really know what One Shot was doing. This is exactly what I was talking about when the encounter went between Max and even Lachlan. But now over here was also a little bit questionable move coming in from Agent Wolves. But this squad wipe was one of the most iconic and well-built squad wipe, and overall well called out, and overall just the synergy that they showed was just outstanding. Now overall, yeah, of course, INES did step out on top when it comes to overall in that fight, but I do feel like Blood Legion just have a better mechanical gifted skilled players. Of course, yeah, they might be unlucky in that one fight. I do understand, you know, you do have one of those unlucky moments going in, but nothing taken away from INES as well. The way they challenged the fight and just the way they overall took the fight was just such a beauty. But yeah, taking a look at all these open moments that were happening, INES, I was expecting INES to actually come out on top, especially when I saw them in those top positions going in. But over here, C1 making so many, you know, pricks and thorns for INES, and just complete eliminating their squad out was just an absolute bummer for them.
Yeah, it certainly was. You know, considering finally KSX, you know, coming out on top on this one, getting that third position secured for themselves. What is the margin that could be? Because every single time we having one of those teams winning those chickens, it's changing. It's completely changing the tables.
Yeah,
and that is how we want things to really go on, in even up until
always
the final
keep
day.
us guessing, you know?
Yes, always keeping us guessing, because come on, a plain normal finals is not something that I would like for myself. But with that being said, let's take a look at the damage graph and see how much damage have these guys dished out. And KSX and Exentric Infinity along with INES.
But take a look at over here, you know, even though Blood Legion was eliminated early off, they still have 481 damage going in for them, which is, yeah, of course not bad, but I mean, yeah,
Doesn't get you any points though.
Yeah, it doesn't get you any points. Yeah, the damage certainly doesn't get you any points. But I'm still so disappointed at taking a look at one of my favorite teams is crumbling apart on that previous map. I definitely did not expect going inside the game. But overall, we are seeing so many new teams just step up this time. Even God's Reborn we did see, and even Ironic, one of the teams that has been sleeping for a long time. This time they do seem like they are stepping their gameplay up.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Ironic. Finally waking up from the slumber, to be honest, and they've started performing. But where does this take them? Because we've got very few games remaining right now, and now I think our questions are going to be answered, because we have the overall ranking for you guys right about now. And finally, a few teams have crossed that 100 mark. But this is the difference that I was talking about. KSX and God's Reborn, almost around those 8-9 points difference. I think now is when we see that segregation happening.
Indeed, and certainly it seems like INES is actually closing their path against Blood Legion. They're only 60 points away, only 60 points shy. And of course, it's not going to be hard for them to actually come up with those 60 points. But the way they have been playing I don't really feel like they are going to be far away from a long time. And if Blood Legion just keep on crumbling on these early stages, which of course I'm pretty sure they are probably not, they will be capitalizing on the next game coming up. They will be just absolutely dominating as well. But yeah, SLX Ironic, as I was talking about, moving themselves up to a massive 9 number.
Yeah, I mean, SLX Ironic, this is really promising for from their side. But ERZxTRZ, they've kind of, taken a spot over there. They kind of stuck on with it. But, you know, as we move along with our discussion, so we did see XCVS kind of taking that dip. So, being at around 82 points, and considering the second and third team have already crossed that 100 mark, it's high time that they start getting a chicken. And the best part about INES is that they've not gotten any chicken. They've been so consistent with the kills and the positioning that they have the second spot in for themselves. But anything can possibly happen in the final game of Erangel. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, we will be heading out for a short little break. You don't go anywhere. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching day number 3 of the regional finals of the PUBG Mobile Club Open Spring Split 2021. Our Bangladeshi region is where we are right now. And of course, before we get started with the final game, a huge shout out to our sponsors. That's Oppo Reno 5. But now, let's talk business. So, now we've seen that 3 of the teams have crossed that 100 mark. And few of the teams are not really far behind. So, if you have to pick one of the teams, which one would it be in this last match?
In this last game, I really want to go for a team that is, like on those under points over there. But at the same time, Blood Legion is calling my name, so I'm gonna go with Blood Legions. Yeah, I just love Blood Legions way too much. Just the way they play, just always fantasizes me.
Yeah, of course. I mean, after taking that early exit, I think they would want to compensate for the points that they really lost out. Might just go ham, and we've seen 23 kills coming out for them, and also a chicken. So I might not be surprised if I see a 25 being crossed. So with that being said, of course, I would love INES as well to get their first chicken dinner, being so consistent throughout right now over the past couple of matches. But with that being said, the final flight path trajectory heading all the way from Novorupnoy to its Giorgio. And let's see where the circle really pans out this time around.
I mean, to be honest, taking a look at the plane flight path, I really feel like the circle might be on military base side.
Military base is what you call. I really want to see something happening around prison. I mean, it's a long time we've seen a prison circle. We've seen circles around shelter. We have seen circles around mansion. We've seen circles around Yasnaya. But it's been quite a while. Even school circle is very much less visible these days.
Indeed, school also is very much less visible, as you pointed it out. But one thing I really want to point out here, seems like Wolves is just always contesting that military base area. And then, yeah, of course, the Novorupnoy area is always going to IPGX. But now, overall, taking a look where these guys are positioning themselves, I am really trying to find where Blood Legion is over here. I have found INES, they are just going to the Jarjapul area every single time. But just take a look at the circle. It's certainly not going to be in military, certainly not prison as well. It's just going to be out in the open. It's going to be a Pachinki circle this time. The Pachinki is certainly the middle center of attraction over there. And I am still trying to find Blood Legion, and yet there you go. Seems like Blood Legion is going to be contesting that Rozhok area, and it is actually quite a brilliant place to go, especially taking a zone under consideration.
Absolutely. I mean, considering how the circle has really panned out, I mean, this can also be a circle which might head on to its Pachinki. So that is, of course, there. We might get to see that southern areas of Pachinki, the last zone like we had seen, that also happening. But look at Team Max. They've got nothing to lose. They're just going YOLO. And the Torch being spotted out, and Ironclad, he does not care. He's got the gun.
He wants that gun real bad.
He wants that kill, in fact.
Yeah, he wants that kill, yeah. Kill.
So right now, Ironclad, any single moment.
Does he know where he is?
Yeah, I think Dipto is just kind of aware about Ironclad's presence, so he's kind of staying underwater.
He's taking damage, though.
Yeah, he started taking damage.
Take a look at this over here. Seems like Shuoser is going to be connecting some crucial shots onto Umer. Going to be catching it off guard while he was trying to contest that vehicle, and seems like King is just going to be leaving him out in the open. And King certainly does not want to risk his life as well, but does King have a gun over here? This is going to be interesting to see. If he does, then he will be putting on a fight against Shuoser, which is certainly going to be interesting to see which one is going to be coming out on top. But Ironclad is in the back lines. Is Ironclad going to be providing that cover from the back lines? As Casper also roll in, they certainly do not want to lose out on a teammate this early offense. It certainly shows off that they do not want to, but Umer finally getting caught off guard in that open rotation. As we take a look at this, Shuoser has been eliminated. Shuoser eliminating one of the Max Esports member out.
Yeah, absolutely. Now considering how the boys have been playing over here, and Max and Exentric. So Max certainly can afford losses right now because they've got nothing to lose over here. They're almost dead last bottom, and they're not doing anything fairly well. But Exentric, they cannot afford such early losses. And Umar has already been taken out, so that's a pretty good thing in terms of Team Exentric really having that one extra kill. But you know, this is the time when you're supposed to be looting, right? This is the time when you need to get that loot, you need to have those vehicles, you need to make those early rotations, and Exentric is losing out on so much more.
Indeed, they are losing out on so much more, but also at the same time, so much time is being wasted from the players of Max as well. They can literally utilize this entire time to actually just loot around, but certainly it doesn't really seem like they want to do this anytime soon, and they should realize at this point in time that Exentric has already backed off, so I feel like they should also grab their vehicles and back off as well, and certainly seems like the same thing is going to be happening over here. King going to be moving to Casper, going to be grabbing him, and then going to be moving it out completely. But Shuoser and C1 certainly securing that one frag early on for themselves is going to be massive relief for them, because especially getting your name on the first blood thing is just an absolute, you know, big achievement in itself. And now they do seem like they are heading towards the entire area of Lipovka.
Yeah, that they are. And, well, still outside the zone, so I'm really getting worried about them as to how are they going to just rotate inside the circle. Well, A1 1952 not really having the times of their lives, because they edged inside the regional finals in the last day of the group stages. So after that the players have kind of been a bit shaky, and not the kind of a position that you would anticipate to see them off. But this is a team that is making some huge ripples in the ocean that we have, and I think if they continue playing like that and a few more fights against Blood Legion, maybe we might get to see a team that's gonna give that neck-to-neck competition and give the players of Blood Legion a run for their money.
Of course, yeah, we do want to see Blood Legion struggle, but I mean, it's specifically you who wants to see Blood Legion struggle.
I do not really want to see them struggle. I just want to see some competition building up, because the way this has been going, it's looking so much one-sided affair.
I mean, they're just that good.
Yes, exactly. I want someone else also, you know, to go head-to-head, just like INES did last time.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you're basically saying that you want someone to actually.
Masala.
Yeah, you want an equal competition, and you also want someone to actually tackle them down easily in those early game phases. So that's definitely going to be freezing their points statement as well. And even the other teams are going to be racking up a lot of points in the process as well. But it certainly is not going to be that easy, because Blood Legion is just such a strong team, and I just feel like they are the son of gods, as they are just going to be never going to be stopping. Yeah, at the same time, yeah, not everyone has all the games to their name, and yes, certainly last game was not for Blood Legions going in as well, but as we have seen such a consistent performance from them all the time, I do feel like, I just feel it in me that this time is the game of Blood Legion as well. As we take a look, Shuoser certainly getting spotted by Ironclad, and it doesn't really seem like Max is going to be giving their chase away this easily against Exentric, because they have taken one of the Max members down so easily and so early on, so they certainly do want that revenge on Exentric as well. But now Ironclad should also realize that they have actually run away. Yep, certainly he does, and he's going to be backing off to his squad mates as well. But just take a look at King, taking a heavy amount of damage from that zone, but certainly it's going to be moving it inside, because it's just the first zone, so it's not going to be chipping out that much of damage.
You know, to be honest, the last game of Miramar, the way INES just wiped out Blood Legion's existence, that was a fair 4v5 fight that they took. So I think INES has got what it takes to, you know, give them the competition, give them that extra a bit of a foothold that you need to watch your tails. I mean, the moment you start being shaky, that's the moment you won't see us coming, and we might get the first spot. Because I want that storyline being built up. I want the winners of you know, the regional finals being decided in the very last game. In fact, the 20th game that we have. So, you know, I want that kind of a storyline built up. I want that kind of a drama coming out from these teams, and well, it's been quite a very good affair in terms of 2nd to 8th, 10th position, but you know, the first spot kind of being so solid, not being contested, kind of breaks my heart.
It did breaks my heart indeed as well. But now, taking a look at the entire ALxK9 Reborn position as well, seems like they are spotted by INES. And we do know INES now is one of the most lethal squad as well, as we saw them absolutely wiping out one of the most dominating squad in the previous map. But now INES is definitely going to be the squad that each and every single team needs to watch out for. Take a look at the circle shift. Of course, it's going to be favoring the Pochinki area. And whichever team is going to be able to get that church control is going to be having so much high ground advantage going in for them, and also at the same time they will have an entire look on the entire Pochinki city.
Well, I think considering the circle shift, it's going to be really tricky because I want to see something maybe happening around the church area of Pochinki, those outskirts. However, now A1952 have solidified their position. Reborn has also closed in. Exentric somehow, you know, with those kind of scuffle that they had against Team Max, they kind of decided to retreat. Finally, have woken up and they realized, okay, so we gotta get some position points kicking in for us. And it has been a rather slow affair so far in the 10 minutes that have passed by. But XCVS, this is another team that has been sort of struggling. You know, they've been getting those 4th, 5th positions, but not really, you know, striking off in the kills department. Cherry being picked off early on every single fight. That has kind of not been going the way they wanted.
Indeed, it's not going the way they want it to. But certainly, XCVS, we aren't, yeah, as you were talking about, they are really struggling phases, and we really want to see them succeed as well, because the first day, they were just absolutely dominating the entire competition. But now, certainly in those later days, they're not really able to show up much. But taking a look at the entire God Reborn squad, they do have control of this hill. But certainly they might get contested from their backline as well. And certainly they do realize that they are starting to change their position as well. But now I do feel like one thing over here, taking a look at the entire XCVS squad as well, I do feel like they have a really good position going in as well for themselves, as having so many houses for yourself secured, and even just overall a better positioning inside the circle is just going to be panning you in your favor out so much more later in those later phrases as well. But now, overall situation now we are analyzing in front of us, it does seem like ALxK9 is just going to be inside the entire Pochinki city over here, and they do not want to step out, which is a really brilliant choice coming in from them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But ALxK9, like you mentioned, you know, we did see those brilliant plays coming in from Notshade, if you remember in Erangel yesterday, you know, being the solo survivor of his squad and still pulling off such a beautiful, beautiful job. But now he's got his eyes onto the boys from Reborn. And, you know, this kind of a circle takes me down to the group stages where you remember ERZxTRZ getting the first chicken as how they just marched their way in. And ALxK9 was one of those teams that were just holding them off at bay. So we've got to see as to how ERZxTRZ also plays this one out. But right now, Notshade with that grenade being lobbed into thin air. Was that going to connect? Not really making the distance.
Indeed, not really going to be making the distance, not really able to travel that far away. But certainly seems like there might be a fight occurring between ALxK9 Reborn and even the team that is right in front of them. But now I'm going to hold on to my words for a second. Seem like the aggression is coming in from Blood Legion as well, as they have already managed to take one of the members knockdown from IPG4 ARC, and he is trying his best to actually survive. But certainly, this is the Blood Legion that we know. The early aggression is coming in through.
Well, yes, exactly. And now they are the wolves, the lions, whatever you might call them. They are hungry, and they want a lot of kills to satiate their hunger over here. But Blood Legion already getting one of those confirmations out here. They need to rotate in, but they need to watch their backs. They need to be careful, you know, while they're making those aggressive pushes, because it has been seen very often that they kind of get the better out of themselves, kind of get reckless while going in heavy. But look at INES, they're going ham after the players of ERZxTRZ. They certainly did not look like they want to stop. They're taking one of their players down. Again, Mamba bowing out. 2 losses very early on. Oh my goodness, ERZxTRZ in a whole world of trouble right now.
Indeed, they are in a whole world of trouble. Now, they need to do something to actually get out of that trouble, as we were talking about before. But now, it certainly does seem like, taking a look at the minimap feed over here, they do have a little bit of neighbors going in as well. But are they going to be able to contest onto them for long, though? ERZxTRZ making a rotation. It's going to be Atomic and his teammate all by himself. It's going to be Radar and Atomic trying to make this rotation from those early rotations in. But certainly going to be finding combat for themselves, which is going to be completely free. But now take a look at Gyro over here. This man is just not scared to actually step out of his cover and even challenge this fight. And seems like he's just going to be challenging a fight right by himself. And certainly going to be smoking his buggy out because he doesn't really want the buggy to blast away as well. Just to make those crucial early rotation in sometimes. And those last moment rotation definitely do help your team out so much. But now it's just an absolute barrage of nades coming in from even AGT9 and even XP Blood Legion. And certainly Blood Legion does realize that it's no point in taking this fight and they're just going to be backing off. But now take a look at the fight that is occurring in front of us. Sickfly not really having the time of their life, and beautiful nade coming in as well. Going to be knocking another member of ALxIR.
Wow, I mean, Blood Legion, they certainly did not want to stop any moment soon. And going after players, you know, getting those 2 knocks. Oh, make that 3. And they don't care. They don't want the confirmations. They're like, guys, we know. No one touches them. They are our prey. And, well, Dominic finally getting that kill confirmed onto its caffeine. And, well, they look very, very angry at this moment. I mean, their body language speaks of that. You know, they reek of vengeance. They reek of blood right now. And 3 kills already for these players, and will also secure the 4th one after they get that confirmation. But Sketch, he just ran for his life.
Indeed, he did. And this is the exact Blood Legion that we know. This is the Blood Legion that we wanted to see. And this is, I feel like, it's literally history repeating himself. Now, we did see in the first day, Blood Legion weren't really able to, you know, capitalize on anything. But then in the later phases, we did see them absolutely just dominating everybody and just absolutely, you know, dislocating anyone from their position and just taking them down instantly. But now, overall position seems like Blood Legion are going to be outside the circle, but the rotation will be made through. As we take a look at Avon 1952 as well, they do know that there is one of the SLX Ironic player right in front of them. The nade is going to be coming through, but Sketch is all by himself, and Sketch is certainly scared. Going to be smoking the entirety of his position out, not going to let anyone actually give his position away. And Sketch certainly does know that he's in a massive world of trouble, as the spray is going to be coming in, and Sharp is going to be completely eliminating the entirety of SLX Ironic, and that's going to be such an unfortunate turn of events for that squad.
That certainly is going to be. But right now, A1 Esports, 1952, finally managing to secure that 1 kill. And Team Max, well, the love story continues as they again engaging against the boys from Max and Casper, and his teammate not really having the best of HPs over there. And Ironclad also will bite the dust as Demon falls down to IPGX. So all these fights are starting to break off. You know, all these teams need to get inside the circle. So it's going to be really tricky as to how they figure to do that. But IPGX going on a kerfuffle with the players of XCVS. So Demon is somehow getting back towards his teammate Cherry, and Cherry should not be the one reviving. He should be the one defending, in fact, the push coming in on by the players of IPGX.
Indeed, he should be the one to certainly be slaying. But now taking a look at the entire position that is occurring, seems like God's Reborn do have that cover going in for them. But as well, taking a look at AGT9 squad, they do seem like they are struggling a little bit, because they do have one of the players going on in their backlines as well. They really have to watch their backlines, but certainly if you're getting contested by a squad like God's Reborn, you are certainly going to be so scared and really forgetting to watch your backlines there, as we see Max King in the backline as well. But certainly Max King is not going to be actually challenging the fight, because he does know if he does challenge the fight, of course he's going to be revealing his position in the process, and he might get contested by any of the squads that are in his backlines or even in his front lines. So Max King is trying his best to actually stay as passive as he can and not give his position away. But now take a look at AGT9. They are going to be repositioning themselves. And as we take a look at Jerry under a heavy fire, but certainly he's going to be ducking back in. And now he does have that rich cover a little bit going up for him. But ALxK9, complete squad is in front of him. 4v1 situation. Is Jerry going to be able to do much?
That we will have to see. But right now, XCVS. So Jerry, He's got that depth working out in his favor, and they've already lost out on Demon, so that's a loss. That's a bummer going in for them. As Leo, he has got his eyes onto its the boys from Exentric, as Clutch as well, taking down Diptoch in the process while they were trying to rotate inside the circle. But now, Jerry, one good grenade can change a lot of things. But look at Leo. He's got Thunder pinned down for himself. And any single moment he can do that. And he's definitely shifted into that FPP mode, trying to get enough vision for himself. And Thunder in a whole world of trouble over there.
Indeed, Thunder in a whole world of trouble. Now, he has smoked himself out, but also at the same time, that has given his position away. So nades are definitely going to be flowing in through. As we take a look at Leo taking so much damage in the process as well. Leo barely surviving. Now, XP Belgian Leo definitely has to wait out the situation. Also going to be smoking himself off in the criteria. But now, Leo also taking so much damage in the process, and certainly is going to be healing himself. Yep, the heals are going to be coming in. But how long is going to be Leo staying alive in a situation like this? Certainly he does have that little rock going in for the cover, but Thunder under heavy fire from the entire squad of Blood Legion. And Ryan, we all know how aggressive this man is and how, like, you know, precise this man's sprays are, and even especially having Gyro and Dominic on your side is just going to be making things way much more easier. As we take a look, XCVS losing out on one of their main fraggers, which is going to be Jerry.
Yeah, of course, and now considering the fact that they have to get inside circle, it's going to be impossible for the players of XCVS to get that res back on, and they will have to make a run for their lives. But right now we've got the boys of Log1 going really ham on the players of IPG4 as they wipe their existence from the lobby.
Indeed, unfortunate turn of events coming in for them, and Log1 of course going to be capitalizing onto the position. Now it's going to be interesting to see how ALxK9 is going to be pushing themselves. Now taking a look at God's Reborn squad over there, they do seem like they are in a massive world of trouble, and now Blood Legion are going to be making those rotation in as well. Just take a look at these men. Dominic of course getting knocked in the process as well, but Dominic certainly is not really going to be having a good time. And just take a look at God's Reborn, gentlemen, going down. Two players have already went down from God's Reborn. They are trying their best to actually smoke it out, but one of their teammates, actually the smoke hit to his teammate and the smoke actually went backwards. So yeah, one of the crucial utility usage has been in a waste. But now certainly taking a look at Koa over here as well, unloading his max on Blood Legion, and certainly Blood Legions are losing on one of their main players, who's going to be Dominic as well.
Yeah, I mean, Blood Legion have gotten a lot on the plate right now, and they're taking so much fire from all directions. You know, the way they have started off, their body language, they reek of aggression. They completely want to go after squads, but somehow this extra bit of aggression is kind of leading to their demise. But they've certainly managed to revive two of their players in that situation. One of them, of course, going out. But with that being said, Wolves Black Diamond, they also taken a rather early exit with just one kill. But considering how the circle has panned out, this just might be INERTIA's game. They've been so close every single time. They've been so close. They've been having those zones. They've been getting those kills. But the chicken dinner is what they're lacking in, as XCVS lose out on their final player, as IPGX will take them out from the lobby.
Indeed, unfortunate turn of events for XCVS. We did want to see them succeed, but certainly they're not going to be able to follow it up. But now taking a look at the entire IPGX squad as well, they are having the time of their life. They are having a game of their life as well. Now B1 going to be having that smoke and those cars a little bit for his cover, but certainly seems like those cars are going to get busted anytime soon. You need to make your distance from those cars as well. But now taking a look at the position that Marshall has, certainly will be having a direct field of view directly onto the squad of Blood Legion over there. They are completely exposed in the open. Now Gyro certainly is going to be proning into open field, but are taken down, and Yashiro from SLXG are also getting down from Gyro. Now XP Blood Legion, this is the Blood Legion that we know. Beautiful name. And Yashiro from SLXG are also getting down from Gyro. Now XP Blood Legion, this is the Blood Legion that we know. God's Reborn.
Yeah, it certainly is going to be, as Befus surviving with that sliver of an HP on him. That's even barely visible, but one shot
to God's Reborn.
Yeah, it certainly is going to be, as Befus surviving with that sliver of an HP. All upon Rolex is the last player surviving inside that shroud of smoke over there. But look at IPGX. I think they might just do some heavy. I was really skeptical about that SMG towards the very end. It's all upon Rolex who's the last player surviving inside Log 1 somehow just managing to be alive with Chiku, and he's trying to do whatever on earth he can. So Blood Legion trying to control the situation from down below, and they're doing such a good job at that. But Log
A1 1952, Infernal Parasite GX as well, but now the numbers is what really matters. Of course, INERTIA Esports having the most numbers in their favor, but now taking a look at the entire situation that Ryan has put himself into, he does know that there is one more squad right in front of him, but is he going to be able to capitalize on 52, Infernal Parasite GX as well, but now the numbers is what really matters. Of course, the INERTIA, it's not his part to actually challenge the fights. As we keep on talking, Infernal Parasite also going down, and it's only down to 4 teams. And as we keep on taking a look, Klus seems like he's in a massive world of trouble, also getting contested down by Ryan. Beautiful accuracy coming in from this man.
I mean, finally, Blood Legion have found out.
Leo does seem like he's in a really good position overall, but it's not his part to actually challenge the fights. As
Kills, because they with the kind of a flow they're going after themselves. I think they're gonna cross 20 this time as well. But look at Leo,
look at
so
this.
Angry. I mean, with that mini 14 just tapping his hearts out and just blowing out vehicles. They want that sweet revenge, and right now, 14 kills. I mean, that's nothing. That's nothing for them.
Blood Legion is just way far apart. The skill difference is just insane coming in over here. Now INES, of course, they're under a heavy amount of fire, but taking a look at over here as well, Gajor taking so much damage onto Dominic Bot as well. Dominic Bot trying his best to actually hide, but oh my god, barely able to connect. That shot not going to be hitting though. But so now Gajor going to be backing it out from his vehicle, as he knows that he is going to get contested in the spot that he is right now. But A1 1952. Gameplay coming in over here.
The moment Ajaru did come in, he ensured that he got those cover fire from behind. He knew where the position is for all these teammates. They're making such a beautiful rhythmic play over there. In harmony is where they are sustaining. I mean, it's so chaotic for them. You might see that they've already gotten 15 kills, but still, at the end of the day, they look so well organized. They are men on a hunting mission, and they know what their objective is. They know who their target is, and they're getting those knocks here and there. And now Dominic will of course secure that kill onto its Atomic.
Oh my god.
And there you go, wiping down squads one after the other, and it's just that last 2 players, I believe, are surviving from A1 Esports 952.
Indeed, this is the Blood Legions that we always want to see. Now it's a 4-on-2 situation. Of course, A1 is going to be having a hard time defending, as we take a look at Leo making a rotation right in the open, going down in the process as well. Now INERTIA Esports also, we did see in the past getting knocked out, but now over here Blood Legion might be struggling, but no, it's going to be Blood Legion coming out on top and certainly showing that they are the Raging Spartans. They are just way too good for these teams. I don't really know what to say anymore.
They've conquered Rome. They've conquered Erangel.
21 kills!
Yes,
what?
Again, the 20 bomb.
I am lost of words right now. Blood Legion, how are you so good? This is the exact thing that we wanted to see from you guys, and certainly be showing that domination and aggression coming in the end there. I am just absolutely lost of words. This is way too good.
I'm out of words.
Same. I just don't know what to say.
I mean, I'm out of words.
Same. I just don't know what to say.
I mean, nothing taken against any of the other teams. The way Blood Legion approached this one, every single fight that they took, classic lobby. I mean, nothing taken against any of the other teams. The way they were trying to provide those very essential cover fires. I mean, Leo, you need to push. Okay, fine. Go ahead. I'm watching your back. Now, the best part I loved about them was they were trying to curve. They were trying to provide. It's like they're just producing a music out from this game. That was so mesmerizing to watch them dominate. And there was not even
for you. So they are, making those plays in such a beautiful, it's like a music.
But
Yeah,
let's
it's just
take a
wiped
look
them
at
out.
the MVP right now.
And
Wow.
even in those last circle, we have seen all the teams playing so safe, but over there, Blood Legion just stepped out of their cover without caring about anything and taking a look at the MVP. Of course, it's going to be Ryan with that beautiful accuracy coming in from his M4 and 4X.
Wow. The MVP right now.
And
Wow.
even in those last circle, we have seen all the teams.
Confidence really kicking in, but no, they were like, hey, fix this. No.
No,
That's not the case over here.
you cannot
Shut
judge
up.
us. You cannot
yes,
judge us.
not right now, because we are going to get that res on. We are going to make sure that we've got all our 4 players going into the final circle. And, as we take a look at
Stepped up, they might have just, the overconfidence really kicking in, but no, they were like, hey, fix this. No.
Gyro, Dominic, and Leo, what is going on? This entire team is just broken. They're too overpowered. Someone needs to separate these people from these teams and at least need to put each and every single player in different teams to actually balance the teams out because they're just way too
give them
good.
the slot to PMPL already.
Entirety of Blood Legion is on the full squad. Each and every single member.
They're still going to be on the top spots, no matter
They're going
what.
to get invited slots for quite some time, after the way they're playing. I mean,
They
okay,
just
so
don't need to prove
Miramar
anymore.
game, they did not get anything, okay? They were wiped out right from the early start. I mean, so this is really important for, just try to have the blood running in for this team. INES just wiped them out. I was like, okay, guys, we are coming after you. And that was the best way, to
They just managed to lose all the games. They're
That's summary, Oh, mine.
Oh, no. I mean, it's like when we are going for the Bangladesh region, all the most thing we talk about is just Blood Legion all over the place.
They deserve
because
it.
Yeah, because they literally just deserve it, and they're just so good. To be honest, at this point, if you really want to balance teams out in a game like PMCO, you will have to literally separate a team like Blood Legion each and every single half. Now, for example, Dominic going to other team, now Gyro going to another
that's
team,
not gonna
Rayhan
happen.
going to another team.
But,
yeah, that's
yeah.
not going to happen anytime soon, yeah, of course.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
again, Blood Legion being there in the majority of the stats we have. But yes, INES, I really felt that this could have been the chicken. The only X factor that INES are missing is the confidence. So right now, we did see Blood Legion. They did not care
They
who was
just-
in front of them.
yeah.
They just went after them. Every single fight that they took. SLX ironic. They just bullet them out of that compound. 3 players being wiped out. The last one had to just make a run for his life. He was crying. And, right now we're in this junction where we can safely say that the way Blood Legion are playing, that for the moment I really thought that maybe INES could be the one really putting up a challenge, and they were like, no, we're not even trying. And the moment they were like, hey, just hold on, we're showing what we're made of. And having all their players alive, getting those amazing kills. Let's take a look at the match ranking, where we did see Blood Legion almost wiping out half of the lobby.
Overall, the stats, of course, are a little bit up, but now, Blood Legion just...
Overall, the stats, of course, are a little bit up, but now, Blood Legion just...
human. I do not know what do they have for their breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm
we
pretty sure.
certainly want to know. We
Yeah,
certainly want to know.
we need to know that.
To be honest,
They're inhuman.
They're inhuman. I do not know what do they have for their breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, that's still the starting phase. We've got the PMPL up ahead, but yeah, as we move along down below, KSX, after those.
I mean, books will be written on them if they continue playing like this. I mean, that's still the starting phase.
1952, they were also really consistent in this one. They placed second. They got some decent amount of kills over.
And falling down. So now this makes things a lot more interesting, because we might have a new third spot guy. So
dominating. That's what we want to say.
Yeah.
Of course, the first frag was for sure, but now from on, it's just Blood Legion all over the place. I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be Blood Legion in the highlights. Up again, this is gonna be that one solo kill coming on the Mamba. Not really big of the deal. I know we're here Blood Legions again.
Dominating.
Yeah.
That's what we want to say.
Yeah.
Of course, the first frag was for sure, but now from on, it's
players, but the remainder two did a pretty decent job in surviving.
Indeed, yeah, they did do a decent job in surviving, but I really don't want to take my eyes away from Blood Legion at this point. I just don't want to distract my eyes. But overall, analyzing the gameplay that Blood Legion did, and I really want
points in terms of kills. I mean, right off the bat, they were down to 2 players, but the remainder 2 did pretty.
we just pushed right in there.
No, in these moments, this is where the technical prowess comes in. Now, look at the cover that they have. It's not like they're making those really dumb pushes, right? Every single time they're making those peaks out. But every single time they're engaging in a fight, they're making sure they've got something to cover them up.
Yeah, indeed. Of course, the cover is coming in there. But at the same time, if we had a lot of the other teams taking the same cover that Blood Legion is, I'm pretty sure in the later phases, they would have had some...
No, in these moments, this is where the technical prowess comes in. Now, look at
that Blood Legion has is just absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. Necro, do you want to take a look at the damage graph?
I mean, it's not really needed.
But no, we'll still do. Let's take a look at the damage graph as the numbers are really insane. 3,664 coming in, 21 kills. The 20-kill bomb dropped twice, this time during the regional finals, but by just that
but then slowly and steadily they all are crumbling down, but the confidence that
nobody comes here, and this is the second time they've done that in Erangel. Every single time they come in, the last final game, Blood Legion just pop off.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I just don't want to say anything, and let's just head towards overall ranking, please.
Please, as we may have it right in front of us screens right now,
we just want to see the overall rankings, like how Blood Legion have contested and how much points they have gotten for them. 204!
Yes, I mean, well deserved. Now, we were talking about the gaps being closed in.
109 kills!
Yeah, I mean, teams haven't really even gotten that much points right now. I mean, just on those kill points, they would have been in the 4th spot. Considering, of course, INERTIA would have been, why am I making such statistic assumptions? But 4 chicken dinners already out of the number of games that they have played is insane. I mean, they've got more kills than placement points, and nobody is even really in any kind of a close contention.
Indeed, and certainly it does seem like A1 this time has moved a little bit up as well. And yeah, in those points tree as well. But now even Log1 also trying to contest that 3rd spot that they had in the starting days as well. They do want to take down KSX, but it's certainly not going to be easy to do that as well. Now taking a look at XCVS as well, I mean, they are really struggling, but ERZxTRZ certainly this time stepping their gameplay up a lot much more.
Yeah, I mean, ERZxTRZ, considering how they were, under what circumstances they were, this is so promising.
So much points today that they are finally at 80 points right now. So they're on the 10th position. They've made it to the top.
That they are finally at 80 points right now. So they're on the 10th position. They've made.
They have to be vigilant every single time. They will have to be getting those 10-12 points every single time they come in.
Throw away on a lot of games. They have to be vigilant every single time. They will have to be
gonna be on the kill leaders. Like I've seen, taking a look at the kill leader, of course it's gonna be Ryan, Gyro, Dominic, XP.
Kill leaders, of course, gonna be the interesting thing to see. Like which players are gonna be on the
I want a little attention, please.
Yeah, I mean, but yes, Clutch also very much deserves that. We know
he does.
Clutch is like, guys, can you please make a little space for me over there as well? And then Clutch just
want to fit in the picture.
I just want to fit in the picture.
still maintain that second solid spot for them. We've been, keeping the boys from Blood Region in
These three players, all the
do deserve that, the way they're playing.
Yeah, of course. I mean, nothing taken away from that situation. But at the same time,
I understand.
we've been, keeping the boys from Blood Region in.
despite the fact that they did not have any chicken, they're still in those top 3 position every single time they come in. Still get those
that's true.
15.
Nothing taken away from.
Maybe they are just going to hold on to the second spot. But for someone to really, even be as close to Blood Legion, they
As well.
Yeah.
So INES, despite the fact that they did not have any chicken, they still.
Tomorrow as well. Yes.
I mean, you shut them down in one game. The next game they come with a 25, 26 killed chickens.
I was just going to hold on to the.
Legion again making the headlines in the newspapers, and we will finally be taking your leave.
Very highly unlikely to happen.
Highly unlikely. I mean, to be honest, it's going to be impossible because Blood
And happy Friday.
Being taking your leave. Take care and happy Friday.
Let's get it.